family cultivation. I can improve my magic weapon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 351, Intermarriage between the two tribes. Chen Qingyun sent word that after a year or two of slumber, the three ice crystal silver pythons woke up. The three ice crystal silver pythons have all reached the 8th level of Qi refining. Seeing the content of the summons, Chen Qingyun had to sigh. This ancient white stone is really not simple. This kind of optimization effect is amazing. An ordinary ice crystal silver python can reach up to the 8th level of Qi refining, which will take more than 10 years to grow. How long did it take to hatch and grow to the 8th level of Qi refining? How high will it grow to in the future? Maybe it will break through to the foundation building stage. These three little guys really have unlimited potential. The future is worth looking forward to. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun took out the ancient white stone and checked the condition of the soul of the red dragon. He found that the other party was still motionless and was still sleeping. The soul of the red dragon absorbs the power of creation before the ice crystal silver python. It has not awakened for such a long time. Is it possible that it can achieve better optimization results? Chen Qingyun looked at it for a moment, then put away the ancient white stone, looking forward to it. We can only wait any longer. I hope I wake up soon. What will the red dragon soul look like at that time? Getting back to the subject, in addition to the ice crystal silver python, there is one particularly important thing during the summons. In order to consolidate the relationship between the Chen family and the Yang family, it is conducive to the mining of the white stone veins. In order to expand the family population, Chen Qingyun proposed that the two families start intermarriage. The Yang family has excellent bloodline, and the chance of birthing spiritual roots far exceeds that of the Chen family. This is what Chen Qingyun likes the most. In the view of the Yang family, establishing a deep-rooted relationship with the Chen family not only allows them to rely on the Zifu family, but also enables them to mine the white stone veins in harmony. As long as we become a family, we will have fewer conflicts in the future, and we can work together as a team to accomplish great things together. It's not like one family doesn't speak the same language as the other. For this reason, under the arrangement of Chen Qingyun, the Yang family began to move 3,000 mortals to Linxi County, and settled down with the help of the mortals of the Chen family. In order to welcome these Yang family friends, the Chen family magistrate of Linxi County specially arranged for 1,000 men to build houses and open fields for them to facilitate their settlement. After more than 2 months of busy work, the Yang family was finally settled. Time flies like an arrow, the sun and the moon fly by, and 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. The Chen and Yang families continued to marry, and 56 pairs of marriages were concluded, and the bloodlines of the two families began to blend. Among them, 55 pairs were girls from the Yang family who married into the Chen family. One pair, Chen Qingyun's second brother in the secular world, married into the Yang family. This is a good thing for both families. At this time, it was also time for the Chen family to hold a spirit testing conference every 5 years. Since Chen Qingyun's cultivation was not yet at the advanced stage of Qi refining, he was unable to activate the spirit detection array. Therefore, for this spirit testing conference, the family sent Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun to Linxi County. There were more than 1,100 children in total, an increase of more than 200 from the spirit testing conference 5 years ago. Among them, many children have already passed the first or even second round of testing. There were more than 200 people, all of whom were new children in recent years. The spirit testing conference lasted for 3 days. Although the luck this time was not as good as the last time and no Tanlingen qualifications appeared, 5 immortal seedlings were unearthed. These 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls, will be included in the family genealogy to guide them in their practice. Among them, there are 2 immortal seedlings, both of whom are descendants of marriages with the Yang family. The path of immortality is evergreen. I read the wise and think about progress, I know books and observe etiquette, and I have bright aspirations in the sea of stars. According to the rules of the Chen family, children with spiritual roots will be listed in the family tree and sorted according to the 16-character generation. If the children are born to family monks, they will be named according to the next generation. For example, Chen Qingzi's son is ranked in the king generation. If the children are born to mortals in the family, they are usually the next generation after the youngest monk in the family. The Chen family has developed to the level of Nianzi, which is the generation of Zhuxiantu. Of course, there will be some special circumstances. In order to facilitate the subsequent naming of seniority, the character generation will be moved forward one generation. For example, if Chen Qingyun's younger sister, Chen Qingyun, was originally named Chen Xiahua, if she was listed in the first generation of the family tree, wouldn't she call her brother uncle? Called Chen Qingyun grandpa. It's easy to get confused about seniority. At this time, you are ranked with your brothers and sisters by the same generation. In short, naming based on generation will be more flexible. The sons of monks will be one generation older than the mortal sons of the family. Therefore, these 5 immortal seedlings were all born from mortals from the Chen and Yang families, and were classified into the Xian generation. A girl with double spiritual roots is named Chen Xian Miao. A boy from Sanlingen was named Chen Xian Lian. These 2 people were born from the marriage of Chen and Yang. The remaining 3 people, 2 with 4 spiritual roots and 1 with 5 spiritual roots, were named Xianbing, Xianjiang, and Xianyang in turn. These 5 virtuous people were all taken to Spirit Sword Island and began to lay the foundation for their cultivation. They will be trained well from an early age. Not just the marriage between the Chen and Yang families. There is another thing to be happy about. Since the Sichu family visited the Chen family more than 3 years ago, the Chen family has not only obtained 26 mirage beads so far. At the same time, Sichu King Xiao actually introduced a daughter-in-law to the Chen family. This woman is Sichu Meniai, 18 years old, with the 4th spiritual root talent and 4th level of Qi refining. She has a quiet and virtuous temperament and looks delicate and soft. The Sichu family's matchmaker for her was Chen Qingyun. As a foundation-building member of the Chen family, Chen Qingyun did not suffer any loss by marrying a female cultivator from a foreign race with 4 spiritual roots. It was just right for the family to continue the family line. With the contact over the past 2 years, the 2 began to have a good impression of each other. They often made appointments to go outing together and set foot in various places in the inner star sea. The 2 gradually fell in love with each other and began to get close to each other, showing a bit of affection. The 2 families saw that the 2 were so close, and it was time to get married. So, Sichu King Xiao directly asked Chen Xianming, "When will your Qingyun come to marry my granddaughter?" The girl wants to get married, and your Qingyun, as a boy, should take the initiative and come to propose marriage. This happy marriage is a good thing. Chen Xianming is eager to strengthen the family bloodline and see the younger generation get married. How wonderful it is. He had nothing to hesitate about, so he called Chen Qingyun to ask, and got a positive answer. Chen Qingyun is willing to marry. One is willing to marry, and the other is willing to marry, and the 2 families have no objection. What are you waiting for? So during the Chinese New Year this year, they got married in a lively ceremony under the witness of their elders. The Chen family decorated the place with lanterns and held a 3-day banquet in the Zhuxian building in Fengrao Fang City. The guests who came to drink included the Zhang family, the Zhu family, the Yang family, etc. The house was full of guests. All of the well-known families in the Xingsha Islands came, except for the Zhang family of Yanhuang Mountain. To this day, Chen Qingyun has become the first person in the king generation of the Chen family to get married, and is also the first to have a child. The pressure began to be given to Chen Qingyun, Chen Qinglai and other king generations. However, immortal cultivators do not necessarily have to marry and have children. In the previous life, Chen Qingyun was often urged to get married, and in this life, he does not want to be urged to get married again. This is a happy event for the family cultivators to get married and have children. There is another thing that is worth the Chen family's joy. Since the soul-containing array was set up on Lingjian Island 3 years ago, after 3 years of nourishment, The spiritual energy on Linjian Island has been greatly improved. The spiritual veins of Linjian Island have steadily been promoted to the 3rd grade upper grade, which is enough to meet the cultivation of Purple Mansion cultivators and open up more resource industries. In order to prepare for the rainy day and make preparations in advance, Chen Xianming spent another 12,000 spirit stones to purchase a set of 3rd grade middle grade soul-containing array from Yishi Island to continue to improve the family's spiritual veins. It is expected that in another 5 years, the spiritual veins of Linjian Island will be upgraded to the 3rd grade extreme grade. On the family cultivator side, due to the more abundant spiritual energy, Chen Daoran's cultivation has been improved and he has broken through to the peak of the late stage of foundation building. The rest of the family's qi refining cultivators have also made some progress. On Zhenhai Island, Chen Qingyun has also made great progress, which makes Chen Qingyun happy. Chapter 352, Sky Patrol. After 2 years of hard work, Chen Qingyun has made significant progress. Her cultivation has broken through to the late stage of foundation building, and her refining attainments have also improved, reaching the 2nd level middle grade. At the same time, she practices the Great Sun Visualization Sutra to temper her soul every day, and the strength of her soul is comparable to that of a cultivator in the late stage of foundation building. Continuing to practice this technique will not only enhance her strength, but will also make it easier to open up the Purple Mansion in the future. Chen Qingyun was once injured by a water toad beast on Ziazu Island, causing damage to her Taoist body and her cultivation to regress to the 2nd level of qi refining. Now more than 10 years have passed. Not only has her cultivation recovered, but she has also advanced to the foundation building stage. The progress in the past 10 years is not small. This makes her have great expectations for opening up the Purple Mansion, hoping to catch up with Chen Qingyun's pace. At least, don't drag Qingyun's feet. While paying attention to the progress of the 5th sister, Chen Qingyun guides Chen Qingyun in her practice in her spare time. It must be said that Chen Qingyun has made rapid progress. With the talent of the heavenly spiritual root, the innate Tao body, the essence of the spiritual wood, and the assistance of various resources, her cultivation is simply advancing by leaps and bounds. From the original 4th level of qi refining, she broke through to the 7th level of qi refining. Now, under the guidance of Chen Qingyun, she began to learn the way of refining instruments, and she learned very quickly. Qingyun's progress made Chen Xianming and others dumbfounded, and they felt that excellent talent is good. At the age of 15, qi refining 7th level, this would be regarded as a peerless genius in Xingzong and worshipped as a treasure. Chen Qingyun is not only the treasure in Chen Qingyun's hands, but also the jewel in the palm of the Chen family and the pillar of the future. The next candidate for foundation building is probably Chen Qingyun. It is worth mentioning that the Chen family still has foundation building pills. At the end of the war, the Chen family exchanged 5 foundation building pills from Xingzong, and 3 of them were collected. Due to the shortage of foundation building pills, the other 2 need to be refined by Xingzong for the time being and supplied to many cultivators. Therefore, the Star Clan has always owed the Chen family these 2 pills. Fortunately, the Star Clan fulfilled its promise. The Star Clan sent a foundation building cultivator to escort the 2 foundation building pills owed, and personally visited the Chen family and handed them to Chen Xianming. For now, the 2 foundation building pills are temporarily sealed in the clan vault. There is no one in the family who meets the foundation building requirements. Moreover, the cultivators of the Chen family can practice the great wilderness devouring demon art to build the foundation, and the resources required are about the same as a foundation building pill. It can be said that both ways are safe to build the foundation with the art or the foundation building pill. In addition, the red sun fruit tree, the spiritual peach tree, and the spiritual apricot tree exchanged from the Star Clan have grown up and each has produced 2 spiritual fruits. These spiritual fruits are of great benefit to qi refining cultivators, and can improve their cultivation and widen the gap with other cultivators of the same age from other races. Another point is the 6-headed seahorse presented by the Zhu family. After more than 3 years of domestication, it has become a family spirit beast. 5 seahorse cubs were born and began to work for the family, transporting supplies to Hefang City and Yishi Island. Here, Chen Qingyun thought about the family, and the family did not treat him unfairly. After more than 3 years of mining the white stone veins and trading with Lingbao Mountain, the Chen family earned more than 400,000 spiritual stones in pure profit. For this reason, Chen Xianmin convened a family meeting and buried 100,000 spiritual stones directly under the ground of Zhenhai Island. For cultivating spiritual veins on Zhenhai Island, none of the family cultivators objected. Chen Qingyun's kindness to them, sharing skills and giving away magic tools, Chen Dailin and others remembered them one by one. Knowing that Chen Xianmin was going to cultivate artificial spiritual veins on Zhenhai Island, let alone the family's wealth, if they really needed some spiritual stones, everyone would raise their arms and pay for them out of their own pockets. Now, 100,000 spiritual stones have been buried for more than a year. According to this progress, in 2 years at most, the first spiritual vein will be born on Zhenhai Island. Just look forward to it. Let's get back to the topic and talk about Chen Qingyun. Because he often hunts monsters in the sea and practices great wilderness devouring monsters in his spare time, Chen Qingyun's strength has reached a bottleneck. He is only one step away from the peak of the Purple Mansion and may break through the shackles at any time. The weapon refining technique has also improved, and it has been upgraded by 1 grade to the 3rd grade middle grade. This level of weapon refiner is in the top 10 in Lingbao Mountain, and is particularly popular in the Star Sea. Because of this, relying on his weapon refining attainments, Chen Qingyun has made breakthrough progress in shipbuilding in the past 2 years. He once only modified a Panlong, equipped with a demon-killing cannon and a Tanji mirror to enhance its power. Now, not only have 2 demon-killing cannons been added to the Panlong, but also a flying effect has been added, which can be transformed into a flying boat to gallop across the blue sky. In addition, Chen Qingyun built 2 more warships. These 2 warships were built according to the spirit ship formula and were uniformly modified. Each of them was equipped with 3 top-level demon-killing cannons and a Tanji mirror, which gave them the ability to fly and became sea and air amphibious weapons. These 2 warships were huge and reached the level of top-grade magic weapons. Chen Qingyun named them patrol ships. A patrol ship can easily kill the peak creatures of the Purple Mansion, and can also command the 5 elements puppets to control it. With the Panlong, it can form a fully automated small fleet. The Panlong is equivalent to the prototype of an aircraft carrier. We have 3 warships. The next step is to arrange drones. We can't just fight according to the detection range of the Tanji mirror. In this case, the combat radius is not large. Chen Qingyun began to tinker with drone manufacturing. The paper crane recipe that I bought from Chen Mengru at the beginning is the basic version of the drone. There are 2 kinds of materials needed to refine this first-grade medium-quality magic weapon, namely Xuanyu crystal and void wood. These 2 materials are not of high grade, both of which are first-grade medium quality, but it is not easy to buy them. In order to gather these 2 materials, Chen Qingyun went to more than a dozen markets in the inner and outer Star Seas and collected some of them in bits and pieces. There were a total of 19 refining materials. Chen Qingyun summoned the Qinyu Sky Fire and immersed himself in the refining process. After a day and a night, 9 paper cranes were finally refined. Each one was about the size of a person. It was light to hold, as if it could float in the air as soon as you let go. 9 paper cranes. It's just right to fuse 3. Chen Qingyun exhaled a breath of turbid air, took a blood and chi pill, and replenished the consumed mana. But, the strength of this paper crane is still lacking. Just like strengthening the Qingyun sword, we need to add fire-refined gold to improve its strength. In terms of attack power, we also need to think of a way to increase their firepower output so that they can have self-protection and attack capabilities. Chen Qingyun thought for a while. It is very simple to strengthen the toughness and firmness of the paper crane. When I was in the wonderful equipment pavilion, I specially purchased a batch of fire-refined gold and Kunmu stone. These 2 materials can achieve the effect of strengthening the magic weapon. As for giving attack power. Since the paper crane has no attack power and defense power, it is a very useless magic weapon with limited scope of application. For Chen Qingyun, since it is used as a drone, It must not just fly and not attack any enemy. It must be given some attack power. Equip the demon slaying cannon, but it is not suitable. That thing is too big to fit the paper crane, and it will not let the paper crane fly. So, we have to find some lightweight weapons. Chen Qingyun selected from more than 100 prescriptions and finally found a solution. Chapter 353 Luan Bird Drone, Demon Killing Crossbow. This is a first-class high-quality magic weapon, similar in appearance to Zhuxiantu, and can fire hundreds of times in a row. Its advantage is that it is lightweight and only the size of a crossbow arrow, which can be equipped on a paper crane. We have found weapons and equipment, and the materials for refining are also available, so there is no need to hesitate. It took half a day for Chen Qingyun to refine 3 demon-killing crossbows. Then, while smelting the flame-refined gold and Kun Mother Stone, he strengthened the 9 paper cranes one by one and equipped them with demon-killing crossbows. At this time, the 9 paper cranes turned dark green, and their strength was comparable to that of a first-class magic weapon, with a dark black demon-killing crossbow firmly fixed on their backs. The next thing to do is to strengthen the 9 paper cranes, fuse them, and then strengthen them into a top-quality magic weapon. Let's call you Luan Bird. After the 9 paper cranes were fused and strengthened, they became 3 new magic weapons, and Chen Qingyun gave them a new name. At this step, the 3 Luan birds have all become top-quality magic weapons. The combat radius increased from the farthest 1,000 meters to 100,000 meters. With Chen Qingyun's powerful divine thoughts, it spread out to form 3 reconnaissance drones. As for the demon-slaying crossbow, this thing was installed separately and could not be upgraded with the enhancement of the Luan bird. Chen Qingyun used the enhancement points to enhance the 3 demon-slaying crossbows to the 2nd grade upper grade. This treasure has enhancement restrictions like the transparent silk thread and the blessed land bead. However, the demon-slaying crossbow is small in size. From the initial 100 consecutive rounds, it has now been upgraded to 1,000 consecutive rounds, which is enough to kill the creatures in the foundation building period. After all, the mission of the Luan bird is to play the role of a drone for exploration and have a certain attack capability. When it really comes to action, it still has to be done by the Panlong in the Sky Patrol. With the Sky Patrol and the Luan bird, Chen Qingyun's current combat power can be said to have exploded. Taking advantage of this free time, many weapon parties are displayed on the ground. Chen Qingyun decided to refine some more magic weapons to assist the development of the family monks. In the next 3 months, Chen Qingyun selected from many instruments and purchased the corresponding refining materials, and he made some magic tools. There are 4 types in total. The Soul Gathering Ring, the Soul Beast Saddle, the Enlightenment Cushion, and the Soul Water Gourd. The Soul Gathering Ring is a magic tool made by imitating the Soul Gathering Array. It is in the shape of a ring and can be extended to a maximum of 3 meters in radius. It is of the first-class upper grade. Its function, as the name suggests, is to gather the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy for cultivation, or to plant spiritual medicine, etc. Similar to a miniature soul-gathering array. The basic version of this thing can increase the effect of cultivation by about 5%. In Chen Qingyun's hands, the effect can be increased one by one after strengthening. Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun must be given to them to improve their cultivation efficiency. As for the family, Chen Qingyun refined 20 soul-gathering rings, all of which are of the first-class level. The Soul Beast Saddle is equipped to the Water Seahorse, which can increase their movement speed and endurance, and has the effect of calming the mind. It can better cultivate seahorses. The Enlightenment Cushion is also used for cultivation, which can increase the speed of understanding the skills. When a monk sits on it to practice, he will quickly immerse himself in the practice, his thoughts will be particularly clear, and he will achieve the effect of concentrating on practice. This is best used together with the Spirit Gathering Ring. The last spiritual water gourd was made from the instrument recipe bought in the wonderful instrument pavilion. In order to develop these 4 instruments, Chen Qingyun invested a lot. Including labor, material costs, and instrument enhancement. A total of 30,000 to 40,000 spiritual stones were invested. Although Chen Qingyun has the Qinglian Yangshan platform to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, assist in practice, and store mana, it has the effect of practicing for 1 day, which is equal to 3 days. But the effects of different instruments can be superimposed. So, Chen Qingyun will build 2 spirit gathering rings and an enlightenment cushion for himself. After these 3 instruments were fused with the strength of the second level best, a new magic weapon was obtained. Enlightenment ring, a low-grade magic weapon. No need to control it, it can automatically absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth anytime and anywhere, improve the ability to comprehend, and assist in cultivation. Not only does it combine the effects of the gathering spirit ring and the enlightenment cushion, but the effect is also improved by 20%. Chen Qingyun strengthened this enlightenment ring and upgraded it to the best level, and the effect was increased by 40% again. Looking at other magic weapons, such as the light shaking sleeves, the cloud stepping boots, the wind spirit wings, and the great dream ring, Chen Qingyun also strengthened them to the best level of magic weapons in one fell swoop. Not to mention that there are still many first level and second level magic weapons as storage and fusion materials. All the magic weapons on Chen Qingyun have reached the best level, with more than 10 pieces. There is also a desolate sky fire talisman in the talisman. Not to mention the 5 elements puppet. With this kind of combat power, whether it can win against the first purple mansion Nangong Yuang of Xingzhou, Chen Qingyun has never fought before and is not sure. But ordinary purple mansion cultivators are definitely not opponents. After the 4 instruments were made, Chen Qingyun first went to find Chen Qingyun and gave her the soul gathering ring, the enlightenment cushion, and the spirit water gourd. These 3 items all reached the second grade top grade level. Then, Chen Qingyun went to find Chen Qingyun and gave her the soul gathering ring, the enlightenment cushion, and the spirit water gourd. However, because of the different cultivation levels, the 3 items given to Qingyun were all at the first grade top grade level. The next day, Chen Qingyun returned to Lingjian Island with a group of instruments and found Chen Xianming. After learning about Chen Qingyun's ideas and the effects of the 4 instruments, the old patriarch was happy and soon showed a serious look. For so many magic weapons, you spend money to purchase materials, and then spend your energy and time to refine them. It takes several months of hard work. I have seen your grandpa Daoran refining weapons, and I know how difficult it is. Don't say this time that these magical artifacts are for the family. We can't just take advantage of you and ignore your hard work. Clan leader, what do you think? Chen Qingyun really wants to give these magical weapons to his family. These are easy for him to refine. These magical weapons are very good. If they are equipped to the family monks, they will definitely like them very much, but they cannot be obtained from you for free. Chen Xianming invited Chen Qingyun to sit down and took out paper and pen. How about this? How about the family purchases each magical weapon according to the market price? Clan leader, there are a total of 72 magic weapons. This is not a small sum of money when converted into spiritual stones. The family purchased formations before and buried 100,000 spirit stones on Zhenhai Island. According to the family's current economy, do they have so many spirit stones? Don't worry. The family's current foundation is deeper than you think. The monthly income from the white stone vein alone can reach more than 12,000 spiritual stones. You are not an outsider, and you are qualified to know the family's current background. Chen Xianming smiled and said mysteriously, these 2 or 3 years have passed. You might as well guess how many spiritual stones the family has accumulated. Chapter 354 Spending 200,000. Chen Qingyun roughly calculated that the white stone vein, according to the 3-year mining time, the spiritual stone income is at least 400,000. Counting the 10% of the income obtained by himself, it is equivalent to 40,000 spiritual stones in 3 years, which is not a small amount. In the family, plus other resource industries, large and small, integrated together, wouldn't it turn more than 500,000 spiritual stones? Just a simple calculation, The family's current foundation is indeed beyond expectations. I thought the patriarch looked miserable and was reluctant to buy a top-grade magic weapon. In fact, the family has so many spiritual stones, let alone top-grade magic weapons. Even the life magic tools of giant and cultivators can be bought 1 or 2. The family's style of doing things in terms of financial resources is still low-key at present, and there is no lavish spending. Once a large amount of spiritual stones are spent, the consumption is very precise, such as purchasing the soul formation and building an artificial spiritual vein on Zhenhai Island. Good steel is spent on the blade. Okay. You don't have to worry about the family's financial situation. As long as the white stone vein is still being mined, our family will have spiritual stones every day. This time, we will use the family's public account to purchase magic tools from you. 7 Tai 2 pieces are still affordable. The remaining spiritual stones will be mostly used to purchase monster resources to assist in practicing the exercises, and strive to improve strength as soon as possible. Chen Xianmin smiled slightly and began to count the number of magic tools Chen Qingyun brought this time. Finally, the total value of these magic tools was close to 120,000 spiritual stones. In order to reach this transaction fairly and justly, Chen Xianmin called several elders in the clan to witness this transaction together. After all, nearly 120,000 spiritual stones were spent, and Chen Dalin and others had to know where so many spiritual stones were spent. When they saw it, they bought a large number of magic tools from Chen Qingyun. The effects of the magic tools of the Gathering Spirit Ring and the Enlightenment Cushion were so practical that not only agreed to this transaction, but also suggested to round it up. So, 120,000 spiritual stones were given to Chen Qingyun at one time. After paying a few hundred extra spirit stones, Chen Qingyun didn't hesitate to collect the spirit stones. Next, Chen Dalin and several elders began to exchange the spirit gathering ring, spirit water gourd and enlightenment cushion with merit or spirit stones. On this day, the news of good magic tools quickly spread throughout Linjian Island. Chen Qingyun, Chen Nianlong and others heard the news and came to exchange for magic tools. After trying the effects of the spirit gathering ring, enlightenment cushion and spirit water gourd in the past few days, they couldn't help but sigh. The magic tools produced by Qingyun are good. In the past 2 days, they couldn't help but praise Chen Qingyun as soon as they saw him. His refining attainments are getting better and better, and the magic tools he refined are also very practical. Chen Qingyun was invited by the clan leader to stay temporarily on Linjian Island. Not long after, the Chen family held a small clan meeting. The meeting was to discuss the purchase of monster resources. Chen Xianmin didn't hesitate at all and got straight to the point. There are nearly 290,000 spirit stones in the family account now. Among them, more than 80,000 spirit stones are reserved for family expenses. I decided to use the remaining 200,000 spirit stones to purchase monster resources to help everyone practice the great wilderness swallowing demon art. What do you think? When Chen Qingyun and his friends heard that there were still so many spirit stones in the family, they couldn't help but look happy. Chen Daoran smiled and said, "There are still 200,000 spirit stones available for expenditure. I thought that after buying the magic weapon from Qingyun, there were not many spirit stones in the family. It seems that I was overthinking. Now the family is developing better and better." "Yes." Chen Dalin nodded and said, "Since we are using spirit stones to purchase monster resources and help practice the great wilderness swallowing demon art, then this money cannot be saved." "I agree." "I agree too." Listen to the clan leader. Following Chen Dalin, Chen Qingyun also voted. "Okay. Buy monster resources." In a short time, everyone present agreed to this idea. Chen Xianmin and his companions who participated in the Xingzong campaign, since they experienced the power of the great wilderness devouring demon art, began to focus on obtaining demon pills to improve their cultivation. Because of this, they have been very diligent in the past 2 years. In order to maximize the strength of the family, they worked together to do great things. often forming teams to go out to sea and hunt demon beasts in the outer sea. These obtained demon beast resources are divided according to their respective contributions. This makes everyone's strength more or less improved after swallowing the demon pill. However, there are also problems. Frequent hunting of demon beasts is not to mention the risks. During this period, Chen Qingyun almost died outside, and Chen Qingyun was injured. Moreover, the efficiency is not fast, and it is far less convenient than hunting demons during the campaign. It takes a lot of time to find and hunt demon beasts one by one. Even if the demon hunting grass is used to induce the demon beasts, not many demon beasts can be attracted after a few days. According to this low efficiency, the family does not have many people, and it is impossible to go out to hunt and wander around for a long time. Therefore, Chen Xianming has been paying attention to the family's income recently and decided to make a large-scale demon pill purchase plan, which led to this meeting. Since everyone has no objection, then let's do this. In the next year, we will organize people and go to the major markets in the outer Star Sea to purchase demon pills. Compared with the inner and outer Star Seas, the outer Star Sea contains more demon beasts and the trend of demon hunting is prevalent, so the average price of the demon beast market is lower than that of the inner Star Sea. We will try our best to save the spiritual stone expenses for this purchase. The saved spiritual stones will eventually be used on you. If you have any other ideas, you can put them forward now. Chen Xianming spoke slowly, and everyone agreed to go to the outer Star Sea to purchase monster resources and to be as frugal as possible on the expenditure of spirit stones. Among them, Chen Daoran made suggestions. The demon pills purchased this time will first satisfy the patriarch's need to attack the late stage of Z Mansion. If there are any remaining demon pills, they can be divided among us. Upon hearing this, Chen Qingyun quickly calculated what was needed to break through and said, the clan leader is currently in the middle stage of the Purple Mansion. Based on the amount of resources consumed with the Great Wilderness Demon Swallowing skill, how many demon pills are needed to break through to the late stage of the Purple Mansion? The quantity will fluctuate depending on the strength of the monster. It takes about 4,000 for the first level, 240 for the second level, and 20 for the third level. Chen Qingyun remembered it very clearly and said, simply swallowing only one grade of demon pills, the quantity requirement is like this. If 3 grades of demon pills are mixed and swallowed, the quantity flexibility will be very large. Good. Chen Dalan nodded and said, the most common ones on the market are the first-order demon pills, followed by the second-order ones, and the third-order ones are very few. Our first choice is to buy first-order and second-order demon pills. Haha, even though the war has been over for 5 or 6 years, there are still sufficient monster resources on the market, and many of them were sold by monks who participated in the war. I think it will be easy for us to purchase them. Chen Qingyun smiled and said, this time we purchase the demon pill, our goal is to spend the 200,000. Everyone said something to me. The meeting lasted for more than 2 hours, during which the family's current income from various industries was summed up, and then the meeting ended. Everyone had the same idea. Many monster resources should be stacked on Chen Xianming first. Push the head of your family to the later stage of Z Mansion. Chapter 355, Patriarch and Number 039:S Breakthrough. As the face of a family, Chen Xianming represents the Chen family, so naturally the higher his cultivation level, the better. As for Chen Qingyun, they are not worried. They all know that Chen Qingyun has a good opportunity and has his own cultivation plan, so he doesn't need to worry about his cultivation level. In this way, in the next 6 months or so, the Chen family cultivators often divided into small groups of 3 or 5 and appeared in various markets in the outer Star Sea to purchase monster resources. In order to keep their identities secret and not let people suspect what they are buying so many monster pills for. The Chen family used the Mirage Pearl to change their body shape, appearance, and aura, and the main feature was that they looked one way today and another way tomorrow. Not to mention outsiders, even if they met outside, they would not be able to recognize who was who if they did not reveal their identities. Take Chen Qingyun for example. She disguised herself as a female cultivator more than a dozen times, from her teens to her 90s, and ran through more than a dozen markets in the Outer Star Sea. With the concerted efforts of the Chen family, it took 6 months, and the 200,000 spirit stones were quickly used up, and the total number of demon pills purchased reached 2,356. 2,112 first-level demon pills and 244 second-level demon pills. Chen Xianming wanted to break through the late stage of the Purple Mansion, and he just needed to swallow about 240 second-level demon pills. So, after discussion, these second-level demon pills were finally provided to Chen Xianming first. Everyone piled up resources and smashed spirit stones to raise the old patriarch's cultivation to a higher level. The mutual help of the family was reflected at this time. As for the more than 2,000 first-level demon pills, they were divided among Chen Daoren, Chen Qingyun and others. Among them, Chen Qingyun also obtained 200 first-level demon pills. With these demon pills, many cultivators of the Chen family began to retreat. It must be said that with the accumulation of resources, Chen Xianming's growth rate is fast. Chen Xianming had been in seclusion for more than 2 months, and just happened to refine all the demon pills. His cultivation level went up to the late Purple Mansion stage, catching up with Chen Qingyun. So far, the Chen family has 2 late Purple Mansion cultivators. However, in order to hide the heaven-defying nature of the great wilderness-devouring demon art, Chen Xianming's strength was still the middle Purple Mansion stage. Not only that, he specially practiced 2 techniques to restrain his breath, and then used the Mirage Pearl to hide his cultivation level. Not only Chen Xianming made progress, but other clansmen also improved their cultivation levels after swallowing the demon pills. Chen Qingyun reached the late foundation building stage. Chen Qingyun broke through the middle foundation building stage. In addition, Chen Qingyun reached the 4th level of qi refining, and Chen Qingyun reached the 5th level of qi refining. In the practice of the Great Sun Visualization Sutra, they also made some achievements and improved their souls step by step. This day, in the morning, Chen Qingyun practiced the Shenting Long Xiangjing. After the technique reached the 2nd level, the dragon and elephant power in the Shenting acupoint gathered into 1. 10 strands make 1 strand. 1 strand of dragon and elephant power is about the size of a finger. When it is exerted, it can easily kill a Purple Mansion late-stage cultivator. Chen Qingyun's current divine consciousness strength can already control 35 magic weapons at the same time. For this reason, he has worked hard on the 5-element puppets. There were 5 5-element puppets before. 8 Desolations, 9 Netherworlds, Sword Immortal Puppet, Black Tortoise Puppet, Sea God Puppet. Now, since the divine consciousness has become stronger, we can continue to create 5-element puppets to facilitate the expansion of the fleet in the future. Chen Qingyun spent several days refining puppets, and the number of puppets increased by 4. These 4 puppets are all fused with 2 second-level top-grade puppets and a second-level top-grade magic weapon. After 4 fusions, Chen Qingyun obtained 4 new puppets. In order, they are the bow and arrow puppet, the flying puppet, the heavenly sword puppet, and the fire god puppet. Each has its own strengths based on the peak strength of the Purple Mansion. For example, the bow and arrow puppet can act as a shooter and launch attacks from 10,000 meters away. The flying puppet has the ability to spread its wings and fly, and can be used as a mount, and its body is very agile. The heavenly sword puppet is an attacking puppet, with melee as its biggest feature. The fire god puppet is proficient in many fire-related techniques, and like the sea god puppet, it takes the root of top attributes. After completing the puppet refining, Chen Qingyun's strength has been improved again. Next, he immersed himself in practicing the Taiko purple fire art. This practice lasted for more than 20 days, and finally broke through the bottleneck of the art and was promoted to the 2nd level. The first level of art is to melt the fire attribute true essence power into purple fire. This kind of purple fire is better than the true fire of refining equipment, and can be used to refine pills and equipment. When the skill reaches the 2nd level, the purple fire can be melted into a golden sword, named Purple Fire Golden Sword. This Purple Fire Golden Sword is similar to the Fiery Sky Sword and Fiery Sky Sword art, but its power is a little weaker. In itself, It is an attack spell, and its power depends on the cultivation of the caster. Even so, this move of Purple Fire Golden Sword can exert a power beyond the same level of cultivators. Chen Qingyun actually mastered the Purple Fire Golden Sword a year ago, and his combat power has soared. After practicing for more than half a month, Chen Qingyun shook off the dust on his body. As soon as he stepped out of his residence, he saw Chen Qingyun coming up. "Qingyun, I just want to find you. The family wants to expand the refining workshop. I want to ask for your ideas." "You talk." The family spent 200,000 spirit stones to buy resources before. During this period, I want to earn more spirit stones, so the family wants to expand the production line of red iron sword and tortoise shell shield to meet more purchasing needs. Do you think this proposal is feasible? You built this weapon refining workshop, so I can only get an accurate answer from you. Okay, I'll start working on it in the next few days. I'll contact the family to discuss this matter. Okay. After learning about the family's idea, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun communicated. Soon, Chen Daoran was sent over to the weapon refining workshop and told Chen Qingyun about the family's needs. "We plan to expand the former by 2 production lines and the latter by 3 production lines based on the original 3 red iron swords and 2 tortoise shell shields, reaching a total of 10. When the production line is expanded, 4 or 5 more underground fires will be opened up. I heard from the clan leader that there is a fire vein under this weapon refining workshop, and the underground fire spread from there. The underground fire is needed to smelt materials. This is the most basic requirement, and then the fire controller A can be built on the basis of the underground fire. At present, there is only one underground fire in the weapon refining workshop. If the production line is expanded again, in order to reasonably achieve reasonable production, new underground fire must be opened up. I discovered this fire vein several years ago." Chen Qingyun briefly explained the situation of the fire vein, and then told Chen Daoran not to worry about the underground fire. "Very good. Without further ado, let's start the expansion now." Currently, due to the opening of Qingyun Hall, the red iron swords and tortoise shell shields produced here are in short supply, and the production scale needs to be expanded, which is also the reason for expanding the production line. Chen Daoran said. In the next 2 days, in the weapon refining workshop. Chen Qingyun expanded according to the family's requirements, added 2 red iron swords, 3 tortoise shell shield production lines, and opened 5 new underground fires to maintain operation. Chapter 356 Return to Zhuxiantu. Nowadays, in the weapon refining workshop. There are a total of 10 production lines, which run at the same time day and night, and the output of magic weapons has increased a lot. Starting today, the Chen family's income from magic weapons will double. It is precisely because of this that the Divine Mind Puppet has begun to inscribe the formation day and night, and it is almost running smoke. Fortunately, the Divine Soul Puppet does not know how to get tired. With spiritual stones to replenish energy and reasonable maintenance, it can be used for 50 or 60 years. After completing the expansion of the production line, Chen Daoran returned to Lingjian Island the next day. He needed to refine several cargo ships for the family for sea trade. Recently, he has been very busy. The family will not let him work in vain. Refining a second-level cargo ship will pay 500 spiritual stones for the refining fee. Chen Daoran's current weapon refining attainments are at the second-level middle grade. When seeing him off to sea, Chen Qingyun took out a stack of weapon recipes. "Second, grandfather, these are 99 kinds of weapon recipes, all of which I purchased from the Qingguang Fang in the Outer Sea, including the method of refining the spirit beast saddle. You can take these back with you." Chen Qingyun carefully read through the many weapon recipes purchased and memorized them all. These can be collected as the family heritage. If the family needs some magic tools, they can also find them here and let Chen Daoran refine them. "You are thoughtful, good." Chen Daoran accepted a weapon recipe and showed a little relief. "It just so happens that I will purchase some refining materials for the family this month, including some things needed to refine a spirit ship. When the time comes, I will apply to the clan leader and give you some materials. Your current refining attainments are higher than mine. Giving you more materials can also provide you with some help within my ability. Chen Qingyun really needs a lot of materials recently, whether it is to refine magic tools for strengthening and selling, or to decompose, or for personal use, so he did not refuse. After Chen Daoren returned to Lingjian Island, he told Chen Xianming about the weapon refining workshop and the weapon party. Chen Xianming listened and nodded with satisfaction. This time, the production line of the weapon refining workshop has been expanded, and the output of red iron swords and tortoise shell shields can be doubled. Danhong Pavilion and Qingyun Hall will have sufficient supply, and the family's future income can also be greatly improved. A large part of this is due to Qingyun's credit. Yes, Qingyun has contributed a lot to the family over the years. In the past, the family's ability was still weak, and we obtained magic weapons, skills, and various benefits from him. This time, the family has some foundation, and it's time to give back to Qingyun. Chen Daoren mentioned the recent purchase of refining materials. This equipment refining trip is also a review of the past and a learning of the present. I think Qingyun's equipment refining skills need to be continuously improved, and more equipment refining materials will be needed. Among the materials we are going to purchase this time, there are many widely used materials such as copper essence, century-old fire coral, and ground vein silver stone, which can be used in the refining of various magic tools. So I think that when purchasing, we can prepare a portion for Qingyun. Good suggestion, let's do it. Chen Xianming nodded in agreement. These purchased spiritual stones will be recorded in the family's public account. Other clan members will not say anything after knowing it. We should have given back to Qingyun a long time ago. The two quickly finished the discussion. In the next few days, Chen Daoren took a batch of family-produced magic tools and set off for Yishi Island to replenish Qingyun Hall. At the same time, this trip will stay in Yishi Island for about a month to start purchasing equipment refining materials. On this day, Chen Qingyun entered the Blessed Land Bead and paid attention to the status of the spiritual medicine in the medicine field. Many of the spiritual medicines planted in the medicine field will only mature once every 3 or 5 years. In the past few years, Chen Qingyun has planted a total of 21 kinds of spiritual medicines, and so far, 16 kinds can be picked. Ranging from the first level to the second level of low quality. This time, the golden sungrass is growing more densely than the last time. More than 60 golden sungrasses can be sold for more than 600 spiritual stones. Looking at more than 60 golden sungrasses, Chen Qingyun bent down and began to pick them carefully, putting the spiritual medicines into the prepared wooden boxes one by one. Golden sungrass is the main medicinal material for refining the first level medium quality golden sun pill. A bottle of golden sun pill has 6 pills, which are sold for 455 spiritual stones. It has the effect of increasing the cultivation of golden spiritual root cultivators. Taking 1 pill is equivalent to 3 years of hard practice. The rest of the spiritual medicines, huaxin flower, Wanmiao flower, Qijing branch, etc. can also be picked, each exuding a strange medicinal fragrance and excellent quality. After selling these spiritual medicines, at least 5,000 spiritual stones can be obtained. In just a moment, Chen Qingyun finished picking the mature spiritual herbs with roots, and then began to use the soul gathering and raining technique to irrigate, waiting for the roots to grow again. The sacred springs of all things around the medicine garden are also enough to provide these spiritual herbs with sufficient nutrients and spiritual charm. In the next 100 years, there is no need to worry about spiritual spring water. 3 days later, Chen Qingyun left Zhenhai Island and went to Hefang Market. At noon today, Chen Qingyun asked Liu Zilin about her weapon refining skills and learned that after more than 2 years of hard work, she has been promoted to the 3rd level lower grade weapon refiner. Not only that, the way of talismans has also reached the 2nd level top grade level. This time, Chen Qingyun went to Hefang Market. first to visit Liu Zilin and congratulate her on her improvement in weapon refining and talisman making. Another point is related to Chen Qingyun, and he sold the picked spiritual herbs by the way. When he arrived at Hefang Market, Chen Qingyun went to Zilanshan first and met Liu Zilin. Qingyun's talent is really good. Her achievements in talismans in the future will definitely be higher than mine. As soon as she saw Chen Qingyun, Liu Zilin mentioned Chen Qingyun. At this time, Chen Qingyun was sitting aside under the guidance of Liu Zilin, carefully drawing a Fire Thunder talisman. This Fire Thunder talisman is a first-grade top-grade talisman, containing the two attributes of fire and thunder, and contains powerful power, which can easily extinguish the fire of the late-stage cultivators of qi refining. The process of making talismans is a bit like inscription formation. Chen Qingyun concentrated on watching for a while. It seemed that a few simple strokes were completed, before he could understand it. A Fire Thunder talisman was made, full of power and spiritual charm. Since being assigned by the family to come to Tanhong Pavilion to assist Chen Qingyun has not only been more convenient in the subsequent study of talismans. In addition, Liu Zilin would guide Chen Qingyun to learn talisman making from time to time for Chen Qingyun's sake. Answer her doubts and impart experience. Over time, Chen Qingyun became Liu Zilin's apprentice, but she had never formally performed the apprenticeship ceremony. Chen Qingyun was obedient and well-behaved, and had a high level of comprehension, so she was deeply loved by Liu Zilin. In Qingyun, Liu Zilin saw the shadow of herself when she was a child learning to make talismans, and she often felt touched. The Chen family has produced a talisman-making genius. In the next 5 years, it will not be a problem for her to advance to the ranks of second-level talisman makers. It is her good fortune that Qingyun can learn from you. Our Chen family lacks in the inheritance of talismans. If she can rely on her to make up for this shortcoming and carry it forward, not only the clan leader, but also our clansmen will be very happy. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly, very pleased with Chen Qingyun's achievements. After more than 2 years of not seeing each other, Qingyun's strength has increased and reached the 4th level of qi refining. She had grown taller and was now a charming young lady. She often attracted some young casual cultivators to chat with her because of her background and appearance. However, Chen Qingyun never paid attention to those people and immersed herself in cultivation and the family shop. Her talisman attainments had been promoted to the first-class upper grade half a year ago, which was a great improvement. The two chatted about this topic for a while. Then, Liu Zilin mentioned her own weapon refining skills and successfully advanced to the 3rd-class lower-grade weapon refiner. For this purpose, she specially refined 2 magic weapons. Taking this opportunity, she took out one of them and handed it to Chen Qingyun. Chapter 357 Ice Rhino Pendant. What is this? Seeing the item Liu Zilin handed over, Chen Qingyun asked in confusion. Liu Zilin smiled and said, "This is the Ice Rhino Pendant, which is made from the horn of the 3rd-level spirit beast Ice Rhino. It has the miraculous effect of warding off fire and can restrain fire-attributed magic. I made this item specially for you a few days ago. Since you are here today, it is just right to give it to you earlier." Liu Zilin introduced the effect of this magic weapon. The Ice Rhino Pendant in Liu's hand appeared to be a piece of white jade, which looked particularly delicate and beautiful, with a hazy light. "Wow, what a beautiful jade pendant!" Chen Qingyun, who was standing aside, was attracted by the sight and showed envy. She liked this beautiful jade pendant very much. But she knew that this was a gift from Senior Liu to Uncle Six, and she couldn't ask for it. Ice Rhino Pendant. Liu Zilin gave a magic weapon, which Chen Qingyun didn't expect. Yes, although this item is not a powerful offensive magic weapon, and it is far inferior to the Midnight Lotus Seal you gave me, I made it with great care. I wonder if you like it. The magical effect of the Midnight Lotus Seal shortened Liu Zilin's cultivation time. It took her only 2 months to consolidate her cultivation after breaking through the Purple Mansion. When she first received the Midnight Lotus Seal, she began to think that it was extraordinary. She never thought that after using it for a period of time, The effect was far beyond her expectations. Chen Qingyun gave her such a treasure, which shows how generous he was. So much so that she felt that she was not giving enough when she gave her the ice rhinoceros pendant today. When she thought of this, she showed a serious look and couldn't help but add, "My current refining attainments are limited. If I want to personally refine a magic weapon for you, I can only give you a low-grade magic weapon for the time being. Don't despise it. Giving away a magic weapon, even a low-grade magic weapon, is not something that can be easily taken out for a cultivator who has just entered the Purple Mansion period. One piece is worth at least 30,000 spirit stones." Liu Zilin had such a kind intention, so Chen Qingyun naturally would not despise it. He did not refuse and immediately accepted the ice rhino pendant. Seeing that Uncle Qingyun could actually receive a magic weapon as a gift, Chen Nianwei on the side was really envious and quite surprised. Of course, she knew how much a low-grade magic weapon was worth. But Sister Zilin could be generous and gave one to Uncle Qingyun. If they were both family cultivators, they might not be so willing to do so. It seems that Sister Zilin and Uncle Qingyun have a special relationship. The little girl thought so in her heart, and a smile appeared on her face unconsciously. After staying in Zilanshan for a while, Chen Qingyun took Chen Nianwei back to Tanhong Pavilion and paid attention to the development of the store. Since Chen Nianwei's assistance, Tanhong Pavilion has added some new products, and the business is better than before. This is something to be happy about. Under the leadership of Chen Nianwei, Chen Nianshang also began to learn the way of talismans and has become an apprentice in making talismans. Thinking that he still had some fresh spiritual medicine to sell, Chen Qingyun sold the spiritual medicine to Tanhong Pavilion at a price 10% lower than the market price, and obtained 4,950 spiritual stones. Trading with the family can be regarded as keeping the money within the family. These spiritual medicines grown by themselves can be sold by the family to earn some income. After completing the mission this time, Chen Qingyun stayed in Tanhong Pavilion temporarily and bought some broken magic tools in the market. This lasted for more than 10 days. One day, he was summoned by Chen Xianming, so he flew directly to Lingjian Island to meet with the old patriarch. The summons sent yesterday was not urgent, but Chen Qingyun arrived today. Chen Xianming laughed and said, "Qingyun, you are here so soon. Actually, I called you here this time to discuss with you about expanding the family population and adding new monks." "Patriarch, I agree with expanding the family population," Chen Qingyun said slowly. "Whether a family can prosper or not cannot only be judged by how many high-level cultivators the family has. The most important thing is to have a stable population base to ensure the inheritance and reproduction of the family. Only when the birth rate of future generations increases can more immortal seedlings emerge. There are a total of 28 family cultivators now, which is not a large number. After being assigned to Psychedelic Island, Zenhai Island, Beishi Mine, Linksai Island, and then to the various industries of the family, there is still a sense of shortage of manpower. Even if the intermarriage with the Yang family now has 5 new immortal seedlings. But the oldest of them is only 10 years old, and the youngest is 2 years old. They also need time to grow up, right? It is not necessary to let them devote themselves to family tasks when they are still in their infancy. Therefore, the problem of insufficient manpower of cultivators has always troubled Chen Xianming, and it is also the most urgent problem that the Chen family needs to solve at present. The spiritual vein on the Psychedelic Island has developed slowly in recent years. It's a pity that it is a second-level spiritual vein. It is a bit of a waste to only use it to grow some spiritual fields. I want to expand the spiritual fields on a large scale and develop some resources to move to the Psychedelic Island. If we do this, we will face the problem of insufficient manpower in the family cultivators, which is also the biggest problem facing our Chen family at present." Chen Xianming's face showed a bit of bitterness. The number of mortals in the family is still too small, currently reaching about 28,000 compared with other century-old families, which start with a population of 50,000 or 60,000. The Chen family is still too young and vigorous. Understanding the problems facing the family, Chen Qingyun nodded slowly and asked, "What do the clan leaders think now?" Chen Xianming pondered for a moment and said, I have been thinking about this for a long time. There are only two ways to add cultivators to the family. One is to marry into the Yang family, or let cultivators marry into the family, give birth to more children, and increase the chance of giving birth to immortals. This is the most reliable way, which requires time to settle. The second method is faster, which is to establish the position of guest elders in the family to attract outstanding independent cultivators to join and stand in our Chen family camp. Which of the above two methods do you prefer, or do you have a better way? Chen Xianming said seriously, which was also the reason for summoning Chen Qingyun, wanting to know what Chen Qingyun thought about this matter. In fact, the most reliable way is for those of the Qing generation to take in wives and concubines, have more children, and worry about not having cultivators to take over. But, among the Qing generation, only Chen Qingyun has started a family, and the rest don't even have a partner. The Qing generation is not expected for the time being, so they can only find another way. Knowing that the family had to solve the population problem, and that he had an increase in the number of cultivators, was valued by the family, and had a high voice, Chen Qingyun thought for a while and said, marriage and the establishment of guest elders are indeed a solution, but the recruitment of the guest elders still needs strict testing, at least to ensure that the origins of the independent cultivators are clear and there is no record of evil. In the future, independent cultivators who have passed the test cannot be easily led to Lingjian Island to live. Isn't there a spiritual vein on this psychedelic island? It just happens to be a spiritual field. After the future expansion, manpower is needed. It is better to arrange the guest elders to settle on the psychedelic island. Good idea. I understand your concerns. Chen Xianming showed appreciation and said, to become a guest elder, no matter the origin, strength, or character, all aspects need to be considered. It is not enough to have strength alone. Then, let's do as you say, clan leader. The two paths of marriage and guest elders can be carried out at the same time. In addition, I have another suggestion. I don't know if it is feasible. Oh? Chen Xianming showed interest and asked, what tricks do you have? Tell me now. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 358 Qingfeng number 039:S Opportunity. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly and put forward his own idea. We can adopt some orphans with spiritual roots from outside, bring them back to the family to educate them carefully, and gradually train them to become monks who are in line with the family. Upon hearing Chen Qingyun's idea, Chen Xianming's eyes lit up. Tell me more about it. Good. In his previous life, he often saw people going to orphanages to adopt children. Chen Qingyun decided to follow suit, organized his language, and explained his specific thoughts carefully. Although there is no orphanage in this sea of stars. But there is no shortage of beggars and young casual cultivators. As long as you are willing to spend time and work hard, it is not difficult to find some little babies with spiritual roots. After that, these children are brought back to the family, given food, clothing, and education from an early age. They can subtly develop a sense of belonging and build a deep relationship with the family. After hearing Chen Qingyun's idea, Chen Xianming nodded slowly. What a good idea. Just send monks to search for these children. Our family doesn't have that many people, so we can only let the mortals of the family do more of these things. Chen Xianming has his own opinion. Furthermore, according to what you said, we must find children with spiritual roots. This may be difficult. It is better to lower the requirements and adopt children as long as they are helpless. Clan leader, you have thought of this. We can indeed adopt them on Linksai Island first, and then we can test their spiritual roots together when the spirit testing conference is held every 5 years. In this way, Those with spiritual roots can be brought back to the clan to practice. Those without spiritual roots can stay in Linxi County and increase the family's population. Ha ha ha, okay, you have more ideas, so I know it's right to discuss this matter with you. Then, I will start these things and strengthen the family's monk base as much as possible. In addition, I have two pieces of news that I just want to tell you. They were sent back by King Feng a few days ago. You might as well listen to them together. Chen Xianming said with a smile. Oh, what's the news? You still remember Meng Xingzhu? Chen Xianming showed a serious look and began to tell the news. During the war a few years ago, the monks of the Chen family were assigned to Qingguang Island. And it was Meng Xingzhu, as the superior, who came to arrange tasks for the monks of the Chen family and others who participated in the war. At that time, Meng Xingzhu was working in collusion with the Zhang family, concealing information, and setting up the Chen family to fight against the demonic beasts of the Purple Mansion. It was revealed that Meng Xingzhu was punished by the Xingzong, and was brought back to the Xingzong for strict investigation. Now several years have passed, and all the crimes Meng Xingzhu committed have been accounted for. The Star Sect has distributed compensation and pensions to the monks and families who were harmed one by one. In the end, Meng Xingzhu was punished and killed and completely eradicated. This incident is indeed damaging to the reputation of Xingzong. However, in such a large sect, there are people who are greedy for profit and do things that violate etiquette and morality, and it is inevitable to violate sect rules. What can be done is to increase supervision and make rewards and punishments clear. After learning that Meng Xingzhu had surrendered, Chen Qingyun secretly nodded. Xingzong's method could still convince the public, and one grain of mouse droppings would not spoil the whole pot of porridge. The family must also take this as a warning to prevent traitors from appearing within the family and harming the interests of the family. This second good news is about King Feng. King Feng has recently become a direct disciple of Hongling, the eighth elder of the Xing sect. Hongling is a late-stage Jiandan monk. With her teaching King Feng how to practice, I believe King Feng will be able to open up the Purple Mansion in less than 10 years. Ancestor Hongling, this person Chen Qingyun has some impressions. After Chen Qingfeng broke through to the foundation building stage, rumors began to spread within the Star Sect that he had been appreciated by the Hongling ancestor and would become his disciple. This news was revealed by Bai Yining, the eldest disciple of ancestor Hongling. Soon after, at the end of the campaign, Chen Qingyun participated in the battle on the Liaoyan Islands and met the Hongling ancestor. During that time, the entire Liaoyan Islands team, including ancestor Liang and ancestor Han, all obeyed the orders of ancestor Hongling, which shows how extraordinary this person is. If Chen Qingfeng can join her sect, his practice will be very different in the future. At least in terms of resource acquisition, he will have an advantage over other sect members. My second brother is expected to grow rapidly in the next few years. Then, congratulations, second brother. Chen Qingyun sincerely congratulated. Yes. Although King Feng has good talent and is willing to work hard, he is in the Star Sect after all. The family cannot take care of him, so he can only rely on his own efforts. Now that King Feng has his master to protect him, his future will be much smoother. Our family is getting better and better. The smile on Chen Xianming's face grew stronger, and finally he mentioned a more important thing. By the way, if you are not busy this month, you might as well stay on Linjian Island for a while. Daoran and I have discussed before, and we are going to add a second-level magic weapon and sell it at Danhong Pavilion. You and Daoran are both weapon refiners. We can discuss what kind of magic weapon to refine for sale. Counting the days, Daoran will return to his family from Yishi Island in 2 months at most. He will purchase a batch of refining materials needed to refining the cargo ship this time on Yishi Island, and he will prepare an extra portion for you. He must have told you about this. Yes, second grandpa mentioned it before. Well, that's right. You have given too much to the family. Now that the family is financially strong, it will gradually give you many benefits. Just wait and see. Chen Xianming smiled, pretending to be mysterious. After chatting for a while, Chen Qingyun temporarily stayed on Lingjian Island. After waiting for more than a month, Chen Daoren returned to Lingjian Island after a long journey. During this trip, he spent a total of more than 22,000 spirit stones, half of which was to purchase 10 refining materials for second-level mid-grade spirit ships. In addition, more than 11,000 spiritual stones were used to replenish the family with many first-level, second-level, and raw materials for water and fire robes. Among them, more than 5,000 were spent to prepare a spiritual ship refining material for Chen Qingyun, as well as more than 20 second-level weapon refining materials. Under the witness of Chen Xianming, all these materials were given to Chen Qingyun for free. Facing the family's gift, Chen Qingyun was not polite. After accepting it, Chen Daoren said slowly, "Qingyun, I currently have 2 things to do for the family. The first thing is to refine 2 second-level medium-grade spiritual ships and expand the family dock, which will facilitate our future travel and lay the foundation for developing maritime trade. The second thing is to add a second-level magic weapon, like the red iron sword, tortoise shell shield, and water and fire robe. It will be sold to the outside world through Tanhong Pavilion and Qingyuntang as the family's specialty magic weapon. I can complete the refining of the spirit ship by myself. Are you willing to discuss with me what kind of second-level magic weapon will be added? I want to hear your thoughts. Your weapon refining skills have improved rapidly over the years. You have surpassed me, who was your master back then. I am very pleased that you have achieved what you have achieved today. Second, Grandpa, once I am a teacher, I am always a father. If you hadn't given me all your help and led me into the art of weapon refining, how would I have achieved what I have today? Chen Daoren's current skill in weapon refining has reached the second-level mid-level, while Chen Qingyun is the third-level mid-level, which is much higher. Therefore, when discussing which second-level magic weapon to refine, Chen Qingyun can also guide Chen Daoren to improve the skill of refining the weapon. Once one was a master and the other was a disciple. Now it's the other way around. The apprentice's achievements in weapon refining far exceed that of the master. Haha, you are always so humble, so good. I'm asking you to give me some advice this time. Do you have any good ideas in mind? Tell me what type of magic weapon you want to create. Chen Daoren asked impatiently. Chapter 359 Bailing. Chen Daoren and Chen Qingyun discussed for a while about which second-level magic weapon to refine and sell as a family representative. Chen Qingyun suggested, let's continue to create a flying sword based on the red iron sword. Chen Qingyun's idea was quickly agreed by Chen Xianming and Chen Daoren. They finally decided to choose a flying sword for this second-level magic weapon, mainly because flying swords are easy to sell and belong to popular magic weapons. This sword is called the Snow-Breaking Flying Sword, which is an upgrade and transformation based on the red iron sword and invented by Chen Qingyun. The Snow-Breaking Flying Sword is known for its extremely fast flying speed and blazing lethality, reaching the second-level middle grade level. It can control flight and can also be used as a magic weapon to fight, bursting out with impressive power, which is the characteristic of the Snow-Breaking Flying Sword. Chen Daoren can also refine this level of flying sword now, and it is easy to sell at a moderate price. A sword costs just over 4,000 spirit stones, which is really not expensive among second-level magic weapons. When the Chen family has opened up the market for second-level magic tools in the future, they can gradually launch second-level top-grade and even second-level top-grade magic tools. In the following period, Chen Qingyun was invited by the family to refine the Snow-Breaking Flying Sword for the family for a fee. For each sword he refined, he could get 200 points of merit. After the family spent 2 months purchasing the materials for refining the Snow-Breaking Flying Sword, namely, red stone, fire spirit gold and silver sand, Chen Qingyun and Chen Daoren began to refine it. Chen Xianming personally went to Linxi County and held a large clan meeting, gathering all the mortals from the Chen family, the Yang family, and even the Zhang family together, and delivered a speech to promote childbirth. In his words, there was only one meaning: to support the 3 families to intermarry, have more children, and contribute to the prosperity of the three families. After staying in Linxi County for a few days, Chen Xianmin returned to the clan and arranged for Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qinglai to go out and about more often, and spread the news that the Chen family was recruiting guest elders to various major markets. At the same time, the family was also spreading this news. If you meet young orphans, beggars, and poor children with spiritual roots outside, you can bring them back to the family to raise them. In order to expand the family population, Chen Xianmin has been worrying about this. Fortunately, after learning about the Chen family's idea in Linxi County, the Zhang family also issued a birth-promoting speech, calling on the mortals in the family to marry the Chen family. It is precisely because of this that many matchmakers living in Linxi County have begun to propose marriages to the Chen and Zhang families. Time flies. Half a month after refining the snow-breaking flying sword, Chen Qingyun discovered that the ancient white stone in the storage bag, which had been in a calm state, has been moving frequently recently. The soul of the red dragon seems to be waking up. Chen Qingyun was full of expectation and continued to watch. A few days later, on this night, the ancient white stone in the storage bag suddenly emitted a dim light. Red dragon. Chen Qingyun's expression condensed, and he immediately took out the ancient white stone and put it in front of him to look at it. With the naked eye, the red dragon soul, which was originally red, not only turned white at this moment. Moreover, it was no longer as illusory as before, but instead appeared substantial, like a dragon with flesh and blood. Could it be that it really turned into a physical dragon? Chen Qingyun's eyes moved, and this guess came to mind. The red dragon soul felt Chen Qingyun's gaze, and it was a magic weapon itself, which could be called a weapon spirit. Now it had a spiritual resonance with Chen Qingyun. When it saw Chen Qingyun, it showed a very close intention, slowly flew out of the ancient white stone, and landed on the table. It was snow white, no bigger than a little finger, and looked like a dragon. The biggest difference from the previous red dragon was that it was snow white. This appearance was even prettier than the ice crystal silver python cub. It was looking up at Chen Qingyun quietly. You have a life form now, and have evolved into another kind of dragon? Seeing the appearance of the red dragon, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but smile and stretched out his hand. The white red dragon had no intention of being on guard, and even less of rejecting it. It immediately put its head on Chen Qingyun's fingertips. Then, it climbed up along Chen Qingyun's fingers and wrapped around his wrist. A burst of icy touch came over, and the white-red dragon circled several times, hovering on Chen Qingyun's wrist, looking very close. Chen Qingyun carefully felt its changes. No matter how he looked at it, it was obviously no longer the previous red dragon clan. The vitality contained in its body had at least reached the second level. Late foundation building. Although the little dragon looks small, its strength has reached the late foundation building stage. Recalling the red dragon that lived in Zhangjia Red Lake for 100 years, this one is even stronger than the other. Who would have thought that an ancient white stone would optimize a wisp of red dragon soul to the second level, grow physical flesh and blood, and turn into a white dragon? Chen Qingyun was deeply moved by this effect. You evolved through the ancient white stone, and your body shape has also changed, from red to white. So let's call you Bei Jiao. Qingyun reached out and touched the little guy's head, thought about it and said, as for the name, I'll call you Bei Ling. After getting the name, Bei Jiao happily rubbed Chen Qingyun's wrist with his head, and was very satisfied with the name. This was the first time Chen Qingyun cultivated a dragon, and it was a white dragon that evolved from a red dragon. He didn't know how to feed it. He simply followed the way of feeding Mo Ling. In the first few days, he took some fish, monster meat, and low-level spiritual herbs to feed it. When Mo Ling saw Bei Ling, he was a little curious at first. What kind of thing is this? How dare he compete for its favor? After a few days of contact, Mo Ling and Bei Ling were able to get along well. Bei Ling would occasionally sleep on Mo Ling. After feeding for more than 10 days, Chen Qingyun discovered that Bei Ling could change its size. After the body was unfolded, it was no different from an adult red dragon. It was previously reduced to the size of a thumb. I thought it had to be fed all the time to let it grow. In addition to sleeping on Mo Ling, Bai Ling did not like to stay in the blessed land beat. Instead, she liked to coil around Chen Qingyun's wrist, looking like she was wearing a white bracelet. Chen Qingyun gradually got used to having such a little guy coiled on his hand. When Chen Qingyun and others noticed that there was a spirit beast beside him, they were curious about what spirit beast it was. After asking, they learned that it was a white dragon in the foundation building period, and they were all envious. The three ice crystal silver pythons, after seeing Bai Ling, all showed a prostrate appearance, very afraid of Bai Ling. Chen Qingyun has been in the family for a month. After a month of refining, Chen Qingyun has refined a total of 100 snow-breaking flying swords, and exchanged the 20,000 merit points he obtained for 20,000 spirit stones. Chen Daoran, whose weapon refining skills are not as good as Chen Qingyun, has refined a total of 81 snow-breaking flying swords. After completing the refining task, Chen Qingyun was about to set off to return to Zhenhai Island. One day, Chen Qingyun came to find him and said that the clan leader had summoned him. Being summoned by the clan leader is usually to discuss important matters. Chen Qingyun did not delay and followed Chen Qingyun to the family hall. When he entered the hall, Chen Dalin, Chen Daoran and other senior executives had already gathered here, and the atmosphere was quite solemn. Even Chen Qingyun, who had been training outside recently, appeared at the clan meeting at this time. Seeing Chen Qingyun and the other man arrive, Chen Xianming straightened his expression and spoke. "Everyone is here. Qingyun, you can tell us what happened this time." Chapter 360 Monsters attack the island. Good. Chen Qingyun organized his words and spoke slowly. 1 day ago, I passed by Hantan Island of the Yan family and found that the island was invaded by monsters. The damage to the Yan family monks is unknown. It seems that all the monks of the Yan family have been evacuated and fled to the surrounding waters. This Hantan Island is only over 1,000 miles away from us. It is expected that in the next few days, the Yan family will come to us for help to help them clean up the monsters and regain their clan land. The Yan family on Hantan Island, I remember correctly. This is a qi refining family. Chen Dalin pondered for a moment, then asked, "What kind of monsters are those?" "I haven't found out clearly yet. There are too many types of monsters. I can identify more than 30 types so far." Chen Qingyun shook his head and detailed some of the identified monster races, among which there were 6 second-level monster species. The most troublesome thing is a group of ice-armored crabs. This ice-armored crab has rough skin and thick flesh, and has a thick carapace as a defense. It is difficult for ordinary foundation-building monks to break through their defense. Because there are too many monsters on the island, including many second-level monsters, which are extremely dangerous and dangerous. I can't find out the specific number, but I estimate there are at least 100 or more. Chen Qingyun showed a solemn expression. Chen Daoran said, "Dalin remembers it well. The Yan family on Hantan Island is just a qi refining family. There are more than 30 monks in the family. How can they be the opponents of that group of monsters? This time, it is estimated that there will be a lot of misfortune, and they can escape. There are only a few clan members. Yes. It is still unknown whether any of the Yan family members have survived. We have not received any news in this regard." Chen Xianming said, "So many monsters are probably the remnants of the monsters that came from the Sea of 10,000 monsters during the war. Since it is the remnant of the monster beasts left over from the battle, then we can notify the Star Sect and ask them to send people to clean it up?" Chen Qingyun said subconsciously. As soon as these words came out, Chen Daoran was the first to shake his head. "No need. We are currently short of monster resources. This opportunity is rare. Why don't we clean up this group of monsters without bothering the Star Sect?" "Yeah, how could I forget this?" Chen Qingyun only focused on cleaning up the monsters, but he forgot that they needed a lot of monster resources to maintain their practice. Now, this monster resource is right in front of you, and you can just go and fight for it. Chen Qingyun listened for a while and then said, "Since the end of the Star Sect's campaign, we have encountered hundreds of monster beasts in the Inner Star Sea. Such opportunities are rare. If we seize it, the family's heritage will be stronger. Yes, Qingyun is right to the point. This is why I proposed that we should eradicate the monsters on Hantan Island. Chen Xianming was a little ready to make a move, but before that, we still have to find out the situation and be careful about sailing the 10,000-year ship. As long as there are no 4th-level monsters entrenched here, it will not be difficult to eliminate them. Chen Qingyun said. There are definitely no 4th-level monsters. Chen Qingyun guessed. If there is a 4th-level monster dormant, it will become their food before I even get close to Hantan Island. And once a monster of this level appears in the Star Sea, it should have attracted the attention of the Star Sect and will not let it go. Chen Qingyun's words caused several people to nod. It can be speculated that the monsters occupying Hantan Island are only at the 3rd level at best. Everyone chatted for a while about the existence of 4th-order monsters, and finally, Chen Xianming made the final decision. Well, there is no need to be hesitant. Hantan Island is only more than 1,000 miles away from us. If we let those monsters multiply and cause chaos, their minions will eventually affect our Chen family. Now, whether it is a mule or a horse, it is best to deal with it as soon as possible. Do you still remember that when we held a banquet at the Zhuxiantu Tower a few years ago, the head of the Yan family, Yan Wancheng, came to the banquet and sent congratulations? Whether it's out of our own considerations, or because of the sophistication of the world, we have to help the Yan family this time. Let me take charge of this matter. Chen Qingyun took the initiative and decided to take action personally to conquer Hantan Island. It was also time to test the actual combat capabilities of the fleet. You are the backbone of my Chen family. I am really not at ease when I send you alone. I will act with you. Chen Xianming decided to come out. You 2 Zaifu monks are the core strength of the family. I don't feel at ease. Why don't I go with you? Chen Qingyun volunteered. I can help more or less. Okay, there's nothing to worry about. Chen Xianming opened his mouth and made a decision. Let's do this. Those who are willing to participate can sign up. It would be better to have more manpower. However, on the clan's side, even if there is a demon-killing cannon, 2 foundation-building monks must still be left to guard it. After hearing this, everyone raised their hands to decide who would participate in the operation, and finally arranged the manpower for the trip. Led by Chen Xianming, Chen Qingyun, Chen Daoran, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingyun, a total of 6 people were dispatched. In fact, Chen Qingyun alone, with 3 warships and 9 Zaifu puppets, was powerful enough to sweep an entire party. But the monster resources are something that the clansmen also need to obtain, so naturally they cannot be provided by one person. The manpower for the trip was planned, with 2 from the Purple Mansion, 3 from the Foundation Establishment, and 1 from the middle stage of Qi refining. Early the next morning, the 6 of them were ready to set off and gathered at the dock. When Chen Xianming was about to drive the Qingguang, Chen Qingyun took out a mini-boat. With a wave of his sleeve, the mini-boat flew into the sea and quickly expanded to the size of a spiritual ship. Take my boat. Chen Xianming and his companions looked at each other and boarded the Panlong without saying much. There are also demon-killing cannons on this ship. When Chen Daoran saw the 3 demon-killing cannons equipped on the Panlong, he couldn't help but take a few more glances. They had taken the Panlong before and were impressed. Seeing the big change of the Panlong at this time, with the appearance of the demon-killing cannon and the Tanji mirror, not only Chen Daoran, but also Chen Xianming and his companions were a little curious. This ship, after Qingyun's transformation, what kind of power does it have? There are still ways for the refiner to transform the magic weapon, not to mention Qingyun, a 3rd-level refiner. They didn't ask much, and followed Chen Qingyun to the Hantan Island. Just a moment later, the Panlong arrived at the vicinity of Hantan Island. According to statistics, there are a total of 15 immortal cultivation families in the Xingsha Islands. Due to the demise of the Zhao family and the recent establishment of new families, there must be fluctuations in the number of families. Among them, The Yan family is one of them. The Yan family was founded by Yan Xuanyi, a foundation-building cultivator, more than 300 years ago. When it was passed down to the fourth generation, Yan Xuanyi died outside Yishi Island because of a fight with a bandit cultivator. Since then, the Yan family has been seriously injured, and its subsequent development has plummeted. So far, no second foundation-building cultivator has been born. The development of the Yan family was several decades earlier than that of the Chen family. It also started with the foundation of foundation building, but it died in the middle of the road. For the next 200 years, it could only keep warm together and guard the only 1 acre and 3 points of land on Hantan Island. In the Xinghai cultivation world, there are many families like the Yan family that have fallen into decline. One after another, the cultivation families have gone from prosperity to decline, and have risen rapidly from dust. They are writing their own unique family development history and creating one legend after another. After learning about the development history of the Yan family, several people felt a little emotional. If they had not experienced the attack of the monster group, the Yan family would not have almost been wiped out and reduced to the current situation. Chen Qingyun pondered in silence and quickly turned his attention to the Hantan Island in front of him. Chapter 361 Fleet in number 039 S First Battle. Hantan Island is a small island, so called because there is a cold pond with spiritual energy on the island. The temperature of the cold pond is cold all year round, the water is clear and icy, and it has strong water and ice spiritual energy. It is a second-level lower-grade spiritual vein. The Yan family cultivators thrived in this cold pond spiritual vein, and the family's inherited skills are mainly water-based skills. The Yan family also has 1 or 2 ice-based skills, but the highest achievement they can achieve in practicing the skills is only the 9th level of Qi refining. In addition, there are very few ice-based cultivators, and the skills of this attribute are almost only collected in the family library. Looking at the island in front of him, Chen Xianming expanded his spiritual sense and prepared to investigate the situation on the island first, and would not rashly land on the island. I have already used the heavenly secret mirror to explore a circle. Recognizing the release of the clan leader's spiritual sense, Chen Qingyun said, "No need to use the spiritual sense to explore again." Heavenly, secret mirror. Chen Xianming's expression moved, and he subconsciously looked at the huge black and gold mirror standing still on the panlong. On this mirror, you can feel the fluctuation of mana, but the invisible power that ripples out in circles cannot be detected even by the Purple Mansion cultivators. This Sanji mirror can replace the spiritual consciousness of the cultivators, and the farthest detection distance is 60,000 feet. The entire Hantan Island is huge. Although the detection range of the Tanji mirror is limited, I have already detected the traces of 141 monsters, including the 3rd-level poisonous dragon and 16 second-level ice crabs. Hearing that there were 3rd-level monsters, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but say, 3rd-level poisonous dragons, this kind of monster is good at toxin attacks, and the venom they spray can even corrode magic weapons. It's not easy to fight. Among the tens of thousands of monster species, those who can be stained with the word Jiao are not simple. Among those present, the ones who can deal with the poisonous dragon are undoubtedly Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming. Whether this battle can be fought depends on the intentions of these two people. I have 3 magic weapons in my hand, and my strength has reached the late Purple Mansion stage. A mere poisonous dragon is not a problem even if it is at the peak of the Purple Mansion stage. Although the water and ice auras on this cold pond island conflict with my fire spiritual roots, my Purple Mansion stage cultivation will not be affected at all, so I can give it a try. Chen Xianming was quite confident. Recently, the fiery sky sword has been nurtured to the level of a top-grade magic weapon. When it is fully controlled, it can rival the best magic weapons. This sword is also fire attributed, with high attack power. When facing venom attacks, it can also be restrained by high-temperature flames. As long as it is not a 4th-level monster, don't worry, I will release the phoenix again to explore the entire cold pond island. You wait for a moment. As soon as the voice fell, several people saw 3 turquoise flying birds flying straight out of Chen Qingyun's storage bag. These 3 flying birds grew from small to large, reaching the size of a person, each equipped with a black long crossbow, and their appearance was not lifelike. At a glance, it can be seen that these 3 flying birds are not living creatures. Luan, bird, puppet? Chen Qingyun looked at it curiously, and the more he looked at Chen Qingyun, the more he felt that he could not see through it. It was the demon-killing cannon and the Tanji mirror. What was this so-called Luan bird that appeared now? Not only him, but also Chen Qingyun and others followed the 3 Luan birds. The Luan birds spread their wings and flew high, spreading out in a fan-shaped direction, and quickly entered the airspace of Hantan Island. Chen Qingyun controlled the 3 Luan birds, sharing vision and hearing. It was just a moment, and when they continued to move, the exploration range covered the entire island. Chen Qingyun soon had a bottom line on the situation on the island. There was a second-level low-grade spiritual vein on Hantan Island itself, and more than 40 acres of spiritual fields were opened up around it, and small towns were built. But at this time, those spiritual fields and towns were severely damaged, and there was a mess everywhere, and there were active figures of monsters and beasts, including birds, pythons, and sea monsters, in various forms. Even the island's protective formation has been destroyed, leaving only some broken formation eyes and broken magic tools. The situation is more dangerous than we expected. There is no trace of the Yan family on the island. There are 3 third-level monsters, 26 second-level monsters, and 241 first-level monsters. These monsters are mainly concentrated around the cold pond, led by the poisonous dragon. The cold pond has become a poisonous pond because it has become the habitat of the poisonous dragon. We will act later, so don't touch the pond water. Chen Qingyun said seriously. 3 purple mansion monsters. Chen Qingyun subconsciously covered his mouth with his hand when he heard it. They only came with 2 purple mansion cultivators this time. Who will deal with the 3rd purple mansion monster? Chen Xianming frowned slightly and asked, what are the specific strengths of the 3 purple mansion monsters? Are there any purple mansion late-stage monsters? Chen Qingyun said, 1 late-stage monster and 2 mid-stage monsters. Chen Qingyun and others were silent for a while. Chen Xianming suggested, how about Qingyun and I work together to kill one of the purple mansion monsters first, and the remaining 2 will be easy to deal with. After this, Chen Qingyun and the others nodded. They could only do so, but they saw that Chen Qingyun had already taken action. No need, I will take action first, and you will be responsible for cleaning up the remaining monsters later. I am very confident in this battle. Everyone still didn't understand whether Chen Qingyun was going to kill into the island alone or had other plans. The next moment, Chen Qingyun wiped his storage bag with his palm and took out 2 small boats. These 2 small boats were also placed in the sea like the pan long before, and quickly expanded and enlarged, and finally turned into 2 mighty and fierce warships. This scene made several people even more confused. Then, 2 streaks of light flew out of Chen Qingyun's storage bag and landed on the 2 ships. When they looked again, the 2 streaks of light turned into 2 puppets, each holding the control lever of the warship, and it seemed that they were playing the role of controlling the ship. 5 elements puppet. Among the people present, Chen Xianming recognized Bawang and Jiuyu at a glance, and finally realized what Chen Qingyun would do next. Go. With Chen Qingyun's order, Bawang and Jiuyu received the order, drove the 2 sky patrol ships, and took off from the sea. In the eyes of Chen Xianming and others. The 2 sky patrol ships flew up to the sky with great momentum, carrying the meaning of divine power, and projected a large shadow moving on the sea, crushing towards Hantan Island. Rumble. There were bursts of air-breaking sounds, like a huge meteor passing through the sky. Bawang and Jiuyu each controlled the 3 demon hunting cannons on the patrol ship, using the heavenly secret mirror to detect and lock onto them. When they were less than 60,000 meters away from the cold pond, they suddenly launched a fierce attack. In the barrels of the 6 demon hunting cannons, terrifying energy was gathering, becoming hot and intense, full of explosive power, and rolling thunder gathered in them. Boom. Almost at the same time, 6 shells flew out of the barrels, hitting the demon beasts gathered around the cold pond in a way that fell from the sky. Chapter 362, Annihilation of the Monster Group. There are more than 200 monsters on the cold pond island. At this moment, 2/3 of the monsters gathered around the cold pond, absorbing the spiritual energy. Here. They were fighting, foraging, and resting, and the patrol ship was 50,000 meters away. When they discovered the abnormality, the first thing they saw was 6 sun-like dazzling shells with thunderous power falling from the sky, which was particularly eye-catching. Boom. As the first, second, and even 6th shells fell one after another, huge explosion shockwaves swept across the earth, shaking it. The rolling waves of flames, wrapped in the thunder and explosion, instantly submerged and covered many monsters, and a sea of fire appeared. The monsters in the center of the explosion seemed extremely fragile, without even the chance to scream or struggle, and were directly blown to pieces. The terrifying fire spread, and almost nothing could stop it. Even the stones were melted by the high temperature and turned into magma. More than 51st level and several 2nd level monsters could not resist and were killed in an instant. A large number of broken limbs and arms were scattered, dyeing the ground blood red. Hiss! Such a powerful bombardment. Witnessing the power of the demon-killing cannon, Chen Xianming and others took a breath of cold air and were really shocked. The large-scale cannon of the demon-killing cannon is more terrifying than the demon-hunting cannon of the Xingzong. Before they could make a move. At the same time. The 3 phoenixes in the sky flapped their wings and flew over the cold pond. They launched attacks in a high-altitude hovering posture. The demon-killing crossbows on their backs launched a burst of white light, which fell like rain, covering a radius of more than 3,000 meters. These crossbow arrows were formed by the gathering of spiritual energy. They were sharp, with terrible penetrating power, and penetrated a large number of monsters, bursting with flames. Under the dual firepower of the Sky Patrol ship and the Phoenix, the poisonous dragon was startled and emerged from the cold pond, looking at a Sky Patrol ship in the air with a cold look. It was greeted by a fiery red shell that broke through the air. Although the poisonous dragon opened a layer of purple mansion shield at the critical moment, it was like a semicircle upside down, covering its entire body. However, after being hit in the next moment, the entire purple mansion shield around it was shattered and exploded. Then, when it fled into the cold pond and was about to hide, hundreds of demon-killing streamers burst out, covering it completely, and shot into the pond with a bang, causing bursts of water splashes. Although these demon-killing crossbows can only burst out the power of the foundation building period and cannot kill the poisonous dragon, they are more numerous and the attacks are dense, enough to make it drink a pot. This is not the end. 3 demon-killing cannons were ready to go, with their black muzzles pointed at the cold pond, locking onto the poisonous dragon, and launching carpet bombing. In an instant, more than a dozen fire bombs fell into the cold pond and exploded like the sun falling into the sky. The huge energy shockwave set off a wave of hundreds of feet. A dull roar sounded, accompanied by the crazy stirring of the pond water. After just a short while, the body of the poisonous dragon floated to the surface. Through the vision sharing of a phoenix, Chen Qingyun saw that the huge body of the poisonous dragon had been torn apart, and its head disappeared, and it was dead. This 3rd-level monster had no power to resist the continuous bombardment of the demon-killing crossbow and the demon-killing cannon. In terms of power, the demon-killing cannon is enough to kill the peak creatures of the Purple Mansion. With 3 of them, how could a poisonous dragon in the middle stage of the Purple Mansion be its opponent? Their combat power is not at the same level. As the poisonous dragon was beheaded, some of the surrounding monsters began to flee, while others roared angrily and devoured the corpses of their companions on the ground. More than 30 of the monster birds spread their wings and killed the patrol ship and the Phoenix. However, facing the high-intensity firepower output of the demon-killing crossbow and artillery, their head-on fighting was undoubtedly a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Amid the continuous roar, Baong and Jiuyu continued to replenish spirit stones to replenish energy for the demon-killing cannon. In just less than an instant's stick of time, the cold pond and even the surrounding area continued to roar, and it was a mess. Most of the monsters on the island were killed. The poisonous dragon has been killed, and we can take action. At this time, Chen Qingyun spread his wind spirit wings, holding the 10,000 swords map in his hand, soared into the air, and flew to the cold pond island. Do it. Seeing this, Chen Xianming immediately understood and took the lead in offering the fiery sky sword, following Chen Qingyun. Under the cover and assistance of the Sky Patrol and the Luan Bird, a group of 6 people launched an operation to land on the island, each showing their skills. Of the remaining 2 third-level monsters, one was an evolved ice-armored crab. The monster had thick skin and flesh, and was covered with large pieces of shells. Ordinary third-level magic weapons could not break it. After the monster raided Hatan Island, it easily killed half of the Yan family's cultivators. Facing the attacks of many flying swords, it bounced off all of them with its physical strength alone. But in front of Chen Qingyun, it was a small witch meeting a big witch. This ice-armored crab itself was bombarded by artillery, with its shell broken and scarred, and its combat effectiveness was greatly reduced. Facing the torrent of millions of flying swords released by the 10,000 swords map, it was like tofu, instantly submerged in the sword flow, and was soon wiped out. On Chen Xianming's side, he was fighting against a third-level mid-stage black-spotted vulture. 7 cold rays of light spewed out of the monster's mouth, each of which was icy and bone-chilling, comparable to a low-grade magic weapon, and swept towards Chen Xianming with a roar. Chen Xianming's strength was second only to Chen Qingyun, and his life magic weapon, the fiery sky sword, was even more powerful. With a few consecutive strikes, he firmly restrained the cold light attack and cut it into pieces. In just a dozen rounds, Chen Xianming struck 7 or 8 times, and the black-spotted vulture was beheaded by the fiery sky sword. The remaining monsters were killed and turned into birds and beasts in less than half an hour under the siege of the crowd. Chen Qingyun controlled 3 phoenixes to chase and kill all the monsters that fled to all directions. Until the last monster was destroyed, the group of monsters occupying Hatan Island was wiped out. In the following time, everyone began to recover their mana and clean up the battlefield. It took more than half a day to collect many monster inner pills, shells, claws and other resources. In this battle, the number of monster pills they obtained, excluding some that were damaged by the explosion, was a total of 212, including 3 third-level and 24 second-level. These demon pills, based on the practice of great wilderness devouring demon art, are enough for 2 9th-level Qi refining cultivators to break through to the foundation building stage. Of course, the extermination of the demon beast group is the result of everyone's concerted efforts. Chen Qingyun made a great contribution and killed half of the demon beasts. Everyone will divide the demon pills according to their respective results. In addition to the demon pills, the bodies of the demon beasts everywhere are also of great value. They can be used for eating, refining pills, refining tools and selling. For example, the teeth, bones and fur of the poisonous dragon body obtained by Chen Qingyun can be used to refine third-level magic tools. The poison sac that comes with it can be used to refine high-level poison pills. The flesh and blood of the poisonous dragon is also worth some spirit stones. Selling it to poison cultivators or body cultivators can make a profit of 500 or 600 spirit stones. According to their respective results, everyone divided the demon pills and the bodies of the demon beasts, and their eyes quickly fell on this cold pond spirit vein. They all frowned and found something unusual. Chapter 363 The Yan family seeks help. The spiritual vein of Hatan Island is this cold pond itself. After the poisonous dragon occupied this place, it constantly absorbed the spiritual energy in the cold pond to improve its strength, and it has already shown a tendency to advance to the peak of the Purple Mansion. A third-level monster, so greedily absorbing the spiritual energy of the cold pond, not only polluted the cold pond with toxins, but also caused the grade of the cold pond to drop sharply, falling to the first-level extreme level. The second-level spiritual vein has declined to the first level. Without 10,000 or 20,000 spiritual stones, it will take at least 20 to 30 years for this spiritual vein to recover naturally. Looking at the cold pond filled with toxins, Chen Xianming frowned slightly and sighed. At this moment, The water in the cold pond has long gone from clear to dirty and turbid, emitting a pungent poisonous gas, which will make people feel dizzy if slightly contaminated. The spiritual vein is the most basic resource of a cultivation family and the foundation of everything. Without the spiritual vein, there will be no cultivators, let alone the development of spiritual fields, medicine gardens and other resources. The second-level spiritual vein of the Yan family is now polluted by toxins and has been downgraded. Once you practice here for a long time, you will inevitably be eroded by the dragon poison and leave hidden dangers. Those with low cultivation, those in the early stage of qi refining, may even die. This means that even if the fastest method is used, using treasures such as poison bottles and detoxification pills to purify toxins and water sources, it will take at least 10 years. The spiritual vein is polluted. Even if there are cultivators in the Yan family who survive, the survival of the family cultivators in the future will be a huge problem. They must not practice here. The toxins released by this third-level poisonous dragon are not easy to clean. These toxins have already penetrated the entire cold pond. Even the spirit fish in the pond cannot survive. It is difficult to continue to rely on this spiritual vein for practice. Chen Dalin said, as an alchemist, he knows the impact of such dragon poison on cultivators. Even if they take the second-level detoxification pill, they may not be safe. Taking the second-level detoxification pill to maintain practice, how can the Yan family bear it in the long run? The Yan family can only take one step at a time now. We have done our best to eliminate the monsters for them this time. The road ahead will depend on them. Chen Xianming said, and asked everyone to pack up and set off to return to Lingjian Island. On the second day after returning to Lingjian Island, early in the morning, someone outside the family came to ask for a meeting. The visitors this time were within the expectations of the Chen family. They were the cultivators of the Yan family, a total of 366 people, 3 of whom were cultivators. The leader was Yan Wancheng, the head of the Yan family, who was at the 9th level of qi refining and was now 49 years old. The other 2 were 2 younger generations of the Yan family, both of whom were of the Jian generation and in their 30s. The man was Yan Jian, who was at the 6th level of qi refining. The woman was Yan Jianyu, who was at the 8th level of qi refining. The rest were all mortals of the Yan family. Due to the long journey, they all looked haggard and their qi and blood were weak. When they arrived outside the gate of Chenjiashan, many people sat on the ground to rest, looking particularly tired and a little nervous. Chen Xianming received them into the family hall, gave them food, and learned the purpose of the Yan family's visit this time. As expected, they came to ask for help. Clan leader Chen, my Yan family has always acted upright and law-abiding. Over the years, we have been guarding our own 1 acre and 3 fen of land and never caused trouble, but this time we were attacked by monsters, which caused the family to suffer a catastrophe and almost wiped out the clan. Yan Wancheng was almost 50 years old. At this time, he knelt in front of Chen Xianming and told him about his experience in the past 2 days. The head of the family knelt down to ask for help in front of the clan members, which showed how helpless this elder was. If there were no clan members who needed to be taken care of, Yan Wancheng would be a casual cultivator and it would be nothing to be alone. But there are more than 300 family descendants who cannot be ignored. They are the future of the family and the bloodline of the family. Once left alone, these mortals will be helpless and it will be difficult for them to survive in the Star Sea where monsters roam. Even if they can find a place to live, the family bloodline will gradually weaken, and the Yan family will soon be extinct and disappear in the world of cultivation. As for taking back Haitan Island, do you want to? Of course. But with their little Taoism, how can they have any chance of winning? Forcing back to the clan land, what is the difference between this and a sheep walking into a tiger's mouth? It is precisely because of this that Yan Wan was forced by the situation, and after deep thought, he took his clansmen on a dilapidated spirit ship across the ocean and chose to seek help from the Chen family nearby. He hoped that the Chen family could help them, not expecting to help them eliminate the monsters and take back Haitan Island, but at least to take them in temporarily. In this way, they can also take a break for a while, so that they can plan for their future livelihood and not really be stranded outside. Please, sit down, Chief Yan. Why don't you take a rest and drink some hot tea? You are not late this time. Seeing Yan Wancheng's appearance, Chen Xianmin could feel his sadness and pain, and invited him to sit down again. Yan Wancheng was a little confused when he heard this, and he didn't understand what Chen Xianmin meant by the next sentence. Before he could ask, Chen Xianming's words came slowly. To be honest, my Chen family knew about the monster attack on Hantan Island yesterday, and took action immediately to clear the monsters entrenched on the island for you, and completely eliminated the foreign enemies. There is no trace of a monster on Hantan Island now. My Chen family has taken back your homeland for you. What? When Yan Wancheng heard this, he was stunned at first, thinking that he had heard it wrong. Hantan Island has been taken back? Then, he looked a little excited, couldn't help but take a few steps forward, and said incoherently, You, are you telling the truth? At this moment, he really couldn't imagine that the Chen family would be so efficient. Not only could they quickly learn about the invasion of Hantan Island by monsters, but they were also able to wipe out the monsters before they came for help. There were more than 300 monsters, including 3 third-level monsters. At the beginning, when facing such a terrifying group of monsters, he made the most correct decision at the first time, urging the family monks to evacuate with mortals, run as fast as possible, and no one could stay. He himself tried his best to maintain the family protection formation, and tried to resist for more than 10 breaths to cover the evacuation of the family members. Even so, after using all means, the number of people who escaped in the end was only more than 300 people, and the rest were buried in the mouths of monsters. Clan Leader Chen, are you telling the truth, my Hantan Island? Yan Wancheng's voice was a little choked up, and he asked again. This is absolutely true. Can my Chen family still joke about this? Chen Xianming interrupted Yan Wancheng and said seriously, Dao Yan, you should rest for a while. I will take you to Hantan Island later to see for yourself. Okay. After just a short while, Yan Wancheng didn't have time to rest anymore, and took 2 younger generations of the family, followed Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun to Hantan Island. Chapter 364 Recruiting Guest Elders, Hantan Island. Seeing that there was no trace of monsters in the clan land they had been thinking about, and seeing Chen Xianming take out the body of the black-spotted vulture as proof of killing. The 3 Yan family cultivators cried with joy, and expressed their gratitude to Chen Xianming repeatedly, almost kneeling down to kowtow to thank him. After Chen Xianming made some polite remarks, he let them move around the island. It was not until a moment later that Yan Wancheng and the other 2 returned to Hantan again and found that the Hantan spiritual vein had been polluted by the poisonous dragon, becoming turbid and full of toxins. The faces of the 3 people were not very good. No, this Hantan has been eroded by toxins. How can the poisonous dragon destroy the spiritual vein that has nurtured my Yan family for more than 300 years? Damn poisonous dragon. Although the Hantan spiritual vein has been reduced to the 1st level, it still has some spiritual energy. But they know very well that if they practice in such an environment full of poisonous gas for a long time, it will definitely damage their Taoist body and plant the root of evil in their bodies. And where else can they go if they don't practice here? The Yan family does not have a second spiritual vein. After this catastrophe, even if the family hurriedly took away a batch of family heritage before retreating, the total value of these things is less than 10,000 spiritual stones, which is far from enough to purify the spiritual vein. Is the Yan family going to disintegrate and cut off its inheritance in the future? The 3 of them can only take more than 300 family mortals and travel a long distance to Yishi Island to seek refuge and live under the nose of others? There are only a few family members left, and the spiritual vein is polluted. What should my Yan family do in the future? Thinking of this, Yan Wancheng's face became more bitter, and he couldn't help but sigh heavily. My Yan family should not have this catastrophe. It shouldn't have happened. He suppressed his negative emotions and had to make plans for the future as soon as possible. If it really doesn't work, he can only become a casual cultivator. At least the last bit of family blood must be preserved and passed on. Paying attention to the expressions of the three people in the Yan family, Chen Qingyun knew their predicament well, and an idea came to his mind. He secretly communicated with Chen Xianming for a few words, and after getting the answer, he looked at Yan Wancheng. Clan leader Yan, things are not irreversible. Oh? Hearing this, Yan Wancheng looked at Chen Qingyun and couldn't help asking, what can the senior do? Chen Qingyun smiled faintly and said, when you are surrounded by mountains and rivers, you may think there is no way out, but when you are in the dark, you will find another village. The spiritual veins of your Yan family are polluted, and now you have nowhere to go. If you want to maintain your cultivation, why don't you join our Chen family? When Chen Qingyun communicated with the clan leader just now, he meant to invite the Yan family to join the Chen family. Doing so can help them while expanding the population of the Chen family. Chen Xianming thought about this proposal and thought it was feasible. The Yan family has a good reputation in Xingsha Islands. They started with farming and have been passed down to the present. They are a very law-abiding family. Compared with absorbing casual cultivators to live in the family, it is naturally best to first choose family cultivators with clear origins and honest family style. Moreover, as both are family cultivators, the two families can reach a consensus in many aspects of looking at things and dealing with interpersonal relationships. For example, inheriting blood, expanding resources, and benefiting future generations, etc. All of these can have the same goals, and they are themselves working hard to continue the family. Join your family. It must be said that this invitation really made Yan Wancheng a little tempted. When they were invited to attend the Purple Mansion banquet held by the Chen family, the Yan family respected the Chen family very much. The Chen family has two Purple Mansion cultivators with a deep foundation, and their style of doing things is far better than that of the Zhang family. The future development will definitely be more prosperous. It is only a matter of time before the Chen family becomes the head of the family in the Xingsha Islands. Thinking of this, Yan Wancheng couldn't help but hesitate. On the one hand, they are facing the problem of family inheritance. Once they join the Chen family, their blood will be assimilated over time, and they will definitely follow the trend and become Chen family cultivators. This is equivalent to giving up their ancestors, letting the Yan family of Hantan Island gradually disappear in the world of cultivation and completely become members of the Chen family. On the other hand, it is the most basic survival issue. Even though Yan Wancheng can still take his clansmen to Yishi Island for refuge, or find a spiritual vein to develop again. This sounds simple and feasible, but it is difficult to do. According to their strength, even if they finally find a spiritual vein, they will not only face the invasion of monsters that may appear at any time, but also have to guard against the covetousness of bandit cultivators and demon cultivators. It is easy to find a spiritual vein, but it is difficult to protect it. This Hantan Island is a lesson learned from the past. It was occupied by a group of monsters overnight. The Yan family cannot withstand such a blow for the second time. They have already been bitten by a snake once, and they are afraid of the rope for 10 years. Moreover, if they seek refuge in Yishi Island as a casual cultivator, in the environment where various casual cultivators gather, some of their family heritage will definitely be envied by some casual cultivators. Coveted. Without strong strength guarantee, a foundation-building casual cultivator can quietly finish them off. This time Yan Wancheng thought clearly about the pros and cons. Seeing that the head of the Yan family was trying to move, showing signs of struggle and hesitation, Chen Qingyun continued to extend an olive branch. Chief Yan, don't worry, my Chen family has plans to expand the spiritual farm in the near future. In addition to the Spirit Sword Island, there is another second-level spiritual vein as a development island. You may as well stay there temporarily and work for us to farm, which can also be regarded as contributing to our Chen family. And the Chen family can provide you with shelter, at least in the future, when you have a new spiritual vein or the spiritual vein of this cold pond is purified. You can still migrate here. We will not stop you. My Chen family has also launched the position of guest elders to recruit outside cultivators to live in the family. I believe you have already known this news. Your cultivation level is just the 9th level of qi refining, which is qualified for this position. Hearing the term guest elder, Yan Wancheng's eyes lit up. He had recently heard that the Chen family was recruiting guest elders, and he also knew what this position meant and what role it played. Compared with elders, guest elders have lower positions than elders and fewer offerings. In terms of status, they are actually the same as elders, unconstrained, but like elders, they are under the jurisdiction of the family and sect. A family of immortal cultivation sets up guest elders for the purpose of inviting powerful foreign aid and strengthening the family's foundation. After becoming a guest elder, although he is listed in a family, he is regarded as one and must follow the clan rules of the clan. But they can still maintain their independence and move freely. They can even take the initiative to undertake family tasks and earn merits to exchange for family resources, which is much better than being a casual cultivator. In the Xingsha Islands, the positions of guest elders of major families are all established in this way. Qingyun's proposal is good, Patriarch Yan. You should think about it carefully. Chen Xianming, who had been listening, smiled and said, "Join my Chen family, and I will not treat you unfairly." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 365, The Yan family joins the clan. As long as you serve as a guest elder, you can not only solve the current family dilemma, but also get closer to my Chen family. In the future, my Chen family will not interfere with your family's inheritance of skills and major backgrounds, and your family foundation can be preserved. Even if our two families will eventually exchange blood and become one, I will not force you to change your surname. The Yan surname can still retain its inheritance. This is the sincerity given by my Chen family. You should think about it carefully. Stay on Linjian Island for a few days. I will send cultivators to garrison here on Hatan Island. Compared with the population base of the Chen family, the Yan family now has only more than 300 people. As long as they really join the Chen family, it will only take a few decades for their family to integrate into the Chen family. At that time, they will naturally become members of the Chen family after getting used to relying on the Chen family for survival. Therefore, Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming don't have to worry about their bloodline being turned into a guest by the Yan family. Yan Wancheng and the other two returned to Linjian Island to stay temporarily. After a night of ideological struggle, the next day, Yan Wancheng took the two juniors and took the initiative to find Chen Xianming. Chief Yan, what do you think? It's come to this point, what can we do? Are the conditions given by Chief Chen yesterday still valid today? Haha, my Chen family is a man of honor, so it counts. Okay, then I will serve as the guest elder of the nobles. My two juniors Jianmeng and Jianu, as well as the remaining 333 people, will have to trouble your Chen family to take care of them in the future. You're welcome, Elder Yan. Yan Wancheng agreed to Chen Qingyun's proposal and officially joined the Chen family. On the same day, Chen Xianming held a small clan meeting and announced at the meeting that Yan Wancheng would become the first guest elder of the Chen family. According to the position of guest elder established by the family, two conditions must be met to take up this position. The first is to have at least the 9th level of qi refining cultivation, and the second is to have a clean background and not commit any evil. Yan Wancheng, the head of the Yan family, you must have heard of this person. Now is the time when the Yan family is struggling. The head of the Yan family is willing to lead the remaining members of the family to join our Chen family and become a guest elder. From the perspective of cultivation and background, they have already met the requirements for the position. In this case, I will officially take over today. Appointed, Yan Wancheng will be the first guest elder of our Chen family. I hope that he can advance and retreat with us in the future and work together for the prosperity of the family. The salary of the guest elder is 500 spirit stones a year. From today on, Elder Yan will take Jian Meng and Jianu, 2 juniors, to the psychedelic islands to practice first. There will be an expansion of spiritual fields there in the near future, and we need the help of the 3 of you. After Chen Xianming finished speaking, Yan Wancheng, Yan Jian, and Yan Jianyu all nodded and accepted the order, and thus stood in the same camp with the Chen family. The other cultivators in the family had no objection to the joining of the 3. In itself, the Yan clan leader was 49 years old, and his cultivation had reached the 9th level of qi refining, and there was a great hope for foundation building. The other Yan Jian was at the 6th level of qi refining, and Yan Jianyu was at the 8th level of qi refining. With such age and strength, they were all foundation building Dao seeds. As long as the relationship was handled well, these would be the 3 future foundation building cultivators of the Chen family. The psychedelic island is vast and sparsely populated, and it needs to add more monks to guard and take care of the spiritual fields. It is obviously the best to have the 3 of them join. The clan meeting lasted for more than an hour, and the discussion afterwards was about migrating the Yan family mortals to Lingsai County to settle down. The next day, Yan Wancheng, led by Chen Xianming, went to live on the psychedelic island. Following him were Yan Jian and Yan Jianyu. They were secretly glad for the Chen family's arrangement to invite them to help plant spiritual fields on the psychedelic island. The Yan family itself started out by farming and has rich farming experience. Compared to wandering around outside and facing the danger of extermination at any time. Now with the protection of the Chen family and a second level spiritual vein for cultivation, what else is there to be picky about? More importantly, joining the Chen family as a guest elder not only does not need to hand over the family's inherited skills and various backgrounds, but also can retain the surname and have independence. With all these benefits, Yan Wancheng couldn't refuse when the family was in a precarious situation. As long as the Green Mountains remain, there will be no shortage of firewood. Yan Jian and Yan Jianyu also thought of the pros and cons here, and both supported joining the Chen family. As long as they were not forced to fight to the death, it would be good to farm on the psychedelic island. In order to consolidate the defense force of the psychedelic island, Chen Xianming sent Chen Qingyun and Situ Minyi to the psychedelic islands to assist in the expansion of the Daxing spiritual field. Chen Chengzi and Chen Nianxia on the island were extremely happy about the family's move. In this way, with the addition of 5 partners, the psychedelic island is no longer so deserted, but has become lively, and finally there are foundation building cultivators in charge. At the same time, expanding the spiritual field is equivalent to enriching the family's granary. Qi refining cultivators all need to eat, and they have not yet reached the level of fasting. Stockpiling food is particularly important for a family in any era. As the family continues to inherit and expand its population, the most basic problem of food must be kept up. In this way, in the following month, Chen Xianming moved more than 300 mortals of the Yan family to Lingsai County, built houses for them, arranged labor jobs, and divided fields and lakes and seas. These mortals of the Yan family did not understand the balance of interests between cultivators, and they did not care to pay more attention. But for now, the Chen family saved them from danger and provided them with food, clothing, shelter and transportation, which was enough for them to be grateful. Unlike the immortals who pursue the path to the sky, in the eyes of mortals, being able to live a happy and peaceful life on the basis of food and clothing is the happiest thing. Facts have proved that these mortals of the Yan family understand gratitude. Since moving into Lingsai County, each of them not only knows the law and abides by it, but is also willing to help the mortals of the Chen family. After living like this for more than half a year, they have completely gotten used to the life in Lingsai County, and have become ideologically connected with the Chen family. On the other side of the psychedelic island, 3 cultivators of Yan Wancheng joined, and the original 10 acres of spiritual fields were expanded to 50 acres. There has been a bumper harvest, bringing a yield of 50,000 kilograms of jade bud rice. Yan Wancheng served as the guest elder of the Chen family. While assisting in the planting of spiritual fields, he also thought about Hantan Island. In the past 6 months, He worked hard to earn spirit stones and purchased treasures such as poison purifying beads and detoxification arrays to continuously remove toxins from the cold pond and purify the water source. These expenses amounted to more than 6,000 spirit stones, which made Yan Wanchen unable to afford it. In order to collect this amount of spirit stones, he had to advance 10 years' salary from the Chen family, which was 5,000 spirit stones. In the next 10 years, he still needed to help farm on the psychedelic island. According to the purification situation of the Cold Pond Island, it would take at least 10 years. Chapter 366 Family Resources. The matter of Hantan Island has come to an end for the time being. During this year, Chen Qingyun continued to build the fleet. Since the battle on Hantan Island, he felt the power of the patrol ship and the phoenix bird. He also had a spiritual ship refining material given by his family. With so many material resources, Chen Qingyun would not be idle. On the basis of the original 2 patrol ships, Chen Qingyun built a new patrol ship. The firepower equipment was the same as the previous 2. It was also strengthened into a top-grade magic weapon, equipped with 3 demon-killing cannons and a mirror of heaven. It is not used for other flying swords, gourds, and treasure tripods. Because the spiritual ship is large in size and the manufacturing process is complicated, more than 50 kinds of materials are required, involving all aspects, so the manufacturing precision is high and the refining cycle is long. For example, the second-level spiritual ship refined by Chen Qingyun takes at least 8 or 9 months. This makes him not in a hurry to manufacture spiritual ships on a large scale. He takes his time to build them one by one. On the drone side, the phoenix bird has added 7, and now there are a total of 10. 10 Luan birds were spread out, and each of them had a detection range of 100,000 meters. As long as they were deployed in a honeycomb form, the detection range would be greatly increased. Within this range, wherever the Luan birds went, it would be covered by firepower, and carpet bombing could be achieved. Combined with the patrol ship as a heavy firepower output, as long as there were no giant creatures, who could stop them, and who would dare to confront them head-on. As a weapon that takes into account air-to-air, air-to-ground, and air-to-sea, the practicality of the Luan bird is far greater than that of the patrol ship. It is very flexible and can follow Chen Qingyun everywhere. This is also the reason why Chen Qingyun refined a large number of Luan birds. The recent wave of strengthening and upgrading has consumed the strengthening points to less than 100 points. At present, he has 2 small problems to solve. One is to obtain strengthening points, which is easy to do. Just go to Qingling Fang again. The second is to improve the divine consciousness and continue to expand the size of the fleet. Now that the Shedding Dragon Elephant Sutra has been cultivated to the 2nd level, according to the current divine consciousness strength, up to 35 magic weapons can be controlled at the same time. Chen Qingyun calculated carefully and put 10 Luan birds, 3 patrol ships, and 1 Panlong. Then there are 4 ships with 4 5-element puppets for control, which is equivalent to controlling 18 magic weapons at the same time. Add the weapons of the 4 warships, 4 Tanji mirrors, and 12 demon-killing cannons, which means that 34 magic weapons are controlled at the same time. Finally, there are 10 second-level top-grade demon-killing crossbows equipped on the 10 Luan birds, which is close to the maximum strength of divine control. He himself can at most activate 1 more magic weapon to fight the enemy. The current divine strength can be said to be just enough to meet the full operation of 4 warships and 10 Luan birds, bringing the combat power to the top. If the fleet is to be expanded later, it is necessary to practice the Shedding Dragon Elephant Sutra to the 3rd level to improve the divine consciousness by a large margin. The expansion of the fleet will not be moved for the time being. In the next 10 days, Chen Qingyun refined the body of the poisonous dragon and refined a total of 2 magic weapons. The first one is the Jialong boat, which is made of the skeleton of a poisonous dragon as the keel frame, the skin of a dragon as the sail, and some solid ores. The strength of this Jialong boat can already withstand the attack of a medium-grade magic weapon, and it is an extremely fast flying magic weapon. The second magic weapon is called the Flying Snake Needle, which is made from the poisonous fangs of a poisonous dragon. These two flying snake needles contain a deadly poison and are hidden weapons for people. Like the Jia longboat, they are top-grade magic weapons. In addition, there is the ice armor crab. A second-level medium-grade ice armor crab can be used to refine two medium-grade magic weapons. Chen Qingyun continued to control the Qinyu sky fire and spent 2 days slowly refining the shell and claws of the ice armor crab. After a lot of careful refining, a set of fire crab armor and a pair of double-edged scissors were produced, both of which are medium-grade magic weapons. Chen Qingyun did not plan to use these 4 magic weapons himself, but to sell them in exchange for spirit stones or decompose them into strengthening points. Because of their high grade, magic weapons are far inferior to first-grade and second-grade magic weapons. There are a large number of second-grade magic weapons and a large audience, so they are not easy to sell. In many large stores, such as Banhai Pavilion founded by Han Lao-Zhu, magic weapons are the treasures of the store, and it may not be possible to sell one even after 4 or 5 years. Generally speaking, most cultivators who break through the Purple Mansion period are either from sects or from large families. When these cultivators need magic weapons, they will exchange them at home at a more favorable price, and rarely buy them in the market. A low-grade magic weapon has a starting price of 30,000 spirit stones. Generally, small stores have a weak foundation and do not have such a large budget to purchase goods, and others are not confident to buy such expensive things in small stores. Therefore, Chen Qingyun has no intention of selling these 4 magic weapons for the time being. Even if you want to sell them, at least you have to find a large store with a guarantee and background like Banhai Pavilion. Now, in terms of income, Chen Qingyun can get 20% of the income of the refining workshop and 10% of the income of the white stone vein every month. For example, the 5 red iron swords and 5 tortoise shell shield production lines in the weapon refining workshop are running day and night, producing 500 red iron swords and 600 tortoise shell shields every month. A red iron sword costs 55 spirit stones. A tortoise shell shield costs 155 spirit stones. The monthly income of these 2 magic tools can bring 500 spirit stones to the Chen family. The income of the weapon refining workshop has far exceeded the monthly income of 12,000 to 15,000 from the white stone vein. Of course, these 2 items require investment in both manpower, material resources, and material costs, and the spiritual stones consumed are about 30,000. But when Chen Qingyun gets a share of the income, the family will not count the loss in it, and will divide it according to the total income. For example, the monthly income of the refining workshop is 120,500 spiritual stones. Chen Qingyun occupies 20%, and the family will give 24,100 spiritual stones. On the white stone vein side, occupying 10% of the income, at least 1,200 spiritual stones a month. These 2 items have brought a lot of spiritual stone income, at least 25,100 spiritual stones a month. This is the benefit that the family gives back to Chen Qingyun, and they will not be too fussy and count the material costs. According to the current family economy, the refining workshop, white stone vein, hematite, and 2 shops in the market, these 4 items have a monthly income of 120,000. With such a large increase in income, the focus is still on the doubling growth brought by the expansion of the refining workshop. With money in hand, Chen Xianmin still did not spend it carelessly. In the past year or so, the old patriarch has enriched the family's foundation as much as possible and built the family treasury into a huge resource treasure house. Most of the spiritual stone expenses for the operation of the family are spent on the purchase of these resources. It is precisely because of this that Chen Xianmin held a large family meeting this time. Except for Chen Qingyun stationed on Zhenhai Island. Chen Qingyun stayed on Psychedelic Island. Chen Douhai is still in the Beishi mine. Chen Qinggu from Linxai County, as well as the cultivators of Danhong Pavilion and Qingyun Hall. They were not summoned. The rest who could be summoned were all summoned to the family hall. And it was lively. When Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others arrived at the family hall, they saw a huge table placed in the hall. On the table, Many spiritual stones, talismans and magic tools were neatly placed. Everyone's eyes were attracted by these resources, and they were curious about what family affairs Chen Xianming wanted to discuss this time. Such grand gatherings rarely occur. However, this time, no one saw a solemn look on Chen Xianming's face. Instead, he was smiling, as if he had encountered something happy. After everyone arrived, Chen Xianming moistened his throat and spoke with a smile. This time, I gathered everyone here to allocate resources to you. Chapter 367, 500,000 Resources. In the past 3 years, the family's income has grown rapidly, and a lot of spiritual stones have been accumulated. In order to make full use of these spiritual stones and improve your strength, in this year, I have purchased a large number of resources, and today I will distribute them to you one by one. The expenses for purchasing these materials are all consumed from the family's public account, so you can accept them without hesitation. Don't be polite. As soon as Chen Xianming finished speaking, Chen Qingyun looked at the many resources on the table and was the first to be surprised. Patriarch, I see that there are many second-level talismans and many second-level top-grade magic tools. Even the first-level magic tools are all top-grade. With so many resources, it must have cost a lot of money. Yes, I made a preliminary estimate that the spiritual stones spent on these resources are at least more than 300,000. Chen Qingyun continued. The others also nodded secretly. It can be seen at a glance that the resources placed on this table are definitely not cheap, enough to match the foundation of a purple mansion family. At the same time, the younger generation of clan members, such as Chen Qingyun and Chen Nianlong, could not help but look forward to learning that they could obtain some of the resources here. The family had distributed resources for free several times before, but those resources were not many. How could they distribute resources worth hundreds of thousands like what is happening now? Is the family so rich? Well, the total value of these things is over 500,000 spirit stones. According to my idea, they will be mainly distributed among 3 camps. Chen Xianming did not wait for everyone to continue discussing and went straight to the point. Without further delay, let's start with the qi refining cultivators. Each person can come forward to receive 5,000 spirit stones, a first-level top-grade magic weapon, and a second-level top-grade talisman. As for the pills, since the needs are different, you can use the spirit stones to purchase them as needed. King Luan, let's start with you. Please come forward to receive them. Chen Xianming looked at Chen Qingyun and smiled faintly. I'll take it first. Chen Qingyun looked back at the old patriarch, then looked at Chen Qingyun. Go ahead. Chen Qingyun smiled and nodded, motioning his sister to come forward. Well, okay. In the eyes of everyone, Chen Qingyun received the magic tools, talismans and spirit stones according to the allocated amount. The value of these things has reached more than 10,000. Seeing that Chen Qingyun got the resource allocation, everyone began to look forward to it. For example, the second-level top-grade talisman, one is worth at least 4,000 spirit stones, although the types are different. There are ice crystal black sword talismans, flying talismans, black tortoise shield armor talismans, etc. But even if it is an offensive talisman inside, one can kill a peak foundation cultivator, and it can be used as a trump card at the bottom of the box. According to the division, a family cultivator chooses a talisman to receive, which is a bit selective. The same is true for magic weapons, which are divided into attack, defense, auxiliary and other types. There are a total of 30 pieces for everyone to choose from, and the rest will be stored in the clan library. With Chen Qingyun taking the lead, the qi refining cultivators present in the family will receive resources according to Chen Qingyun's standard. Those who are not in the family for the time being, such as Chen Nianwai, Chen Qingyun and others, also have a copy, which will be delivered to them one by the clan members later. In the family, including Sichu Minyi, there are a total of 14 qi refining cultivators, and the total value of the resources allocated here has reached more than 150,000 spirit stones. Since marrying into the Chen family, Situ feels that this family is becoming more and more prosperous, and she is very glad that she found a good family and married the person she likes. Now, there are still resources worth more than 10,000 to distribute, which is equivalent to sitting and receiving money. The Situ family does not have such a hand. Then, there are foundation building cultivators, a total of 8 in the family. All foundation building cultivators can come forward to receive 10,000 spirit stones, a second level top grade magic weapon, and a second level top grade talisman. Chen Xianming glanced at Chen Daoran, Chen Qingyun and other foundation building cultivators. The total value of the resources you each received, converted into spirit stones, is around 30,000. If calculated based on the 8 foundation building cultivators in the family, the total is 240,000 resources. Foundation building cultivators mainly use second level resources, and their expenses are much higher than those of chi refining cultivators, so the spirit stone reward has been increased by 5,000. At the same time, the higher the cultivation level, the more spirit stone rewards are obtained, which can also encourage the family cultivators to be positive and work hard to practice. Everyone has no objection to this point. Chen Qingyun, Chen Daoran and other foundation building cultivators present all came forward with a smile to receive the rewards, a total of 22nd level top grade magic weapons, which can be selected as needed. Until some 3rd level resources were left on the table, Chen Xianming looked at Chen Qingyun. There are only Qingyun and I in the purple mansion stage in our family. In terms of resource location, Qingyun and I are the same. 15,000 spirit stones and 1/3 level top grade talisman. Chen Xianming did not purchase a top grade magic weapon for distribution, because this level of magic weapon is too expensive. The market price of a top grade magic weapon is 240,000 spirit stones, which is already the ceiling price in the magic weapon market. More advanced life magic weapons are all refined and nurtured by the giant ancestors themselves, and are basically not sold to the outside world. Even though Chen Qingyun guessed that the family would be so generous, when he received the reward, he still felt that the family was really willing to spend this time. Let's talk about the 3rd level top grade talisman. This talisman is called the 9-star Sky Spear Talisman. One piece is also worth 48,000 spirit stones and can kill a purple mansion peak cultivator. The 2 rewards for him and Chen Xianming add up to more than 120,000 spirit stones. If you don't count, you won't know. After such a careful calculation, the total value of the resources on the table, from the 1st to the 3rd level, really reached more than 500,000 spirit stones. In the eyes of the Chen family 10 years ago, resources of this value were unimaginable. If anyone said that the family would take out 500,000 resources for distribution, they would definitely say, "What are you thinking? Stop daydreaming." Now, nearly 500,000 spirit stones of resources are directly taken out and distributed to all family cultivators. Except for the 5 Xian generations who have not yet entered the chi refining stage, all other cultivators have received a resource. Because there are still a few resources to be donated. Chen Xianming personally went to Zhenhai Island, Psychedelic Island, Linxi County, Danhong Pavilion, Qingyun Hall and Xingzong in the next month. He gave the resources to Chen Qingyun, Chen Qinggu and others. After giving the resources to Chen Qingfeng, Chen Xianming went to Zhenhai Island. Since burying 100 spirit stones on Zhenhai Island more than 3 years ago, after more than 3 years of nurturing, the first artificial spirit vein was finally successfully cultivated. This new spirit vein on Zhenhai Island has reached the 1st-class top grade, which is enough to add several second-class formations. Chen Xianming was naturally not satisfied with the 1st-class top grade Zhenhai Island spirit vein. After informing Chen Qingyun, he decided to purchase another set of second-class soul formation to further upgrade the spirit vein to the second-class top grade. Chen Xianming immediately started to do this and went to the Zhang family on Chu Island to customize the soul formation. After agreeing with the Zhang family to deliver a set of spirit formation 3 months later, Chen Xianming called Chen Qingyun and talked about the family's several major spirit veins. Chapter 368 Recruiting Casual Practitioners. Our Chen family now has a total of 4 spiritual veins: Lingjian Island, Psychedelic Island, Zhenhai Island, and the Yuanzhu Island spiritual vein obtained from the Zhao family in the early years. Although the family has 4 spiritual veins and a lot of heritage, our family is short of manpower, and almost all of them live on Lingjian Island. Psychedelic Island is mainly used to grow spiritual fields. Your uncle Qingzi and nephew Nianxia have lived there for several years. Recently, Qingyin and Yan Wancheng have joined. I believe it will develop soon. I won't say much about Zhenhai Island. There are hematite mines and refining workshops. It is the most important source of income for the family. It is the family's hinterland. The Yuanzhu Island spiritual vein that is now vacant has been basically idle for the past few years, and some spiritual sand whites have been cultivated on the spot. Although Yuanzhu Island is a second-level top-grade spiritual vein, we have no time to send cultivators to live there, so it is better to live comfortably on Lingjian Island. Now, the family is preparing to expand the population and recruit casual cultivators. Qingyun, you have a lot of ideas. How can we maximize the use of this Yuanzhu Island spiritual vein and give full play to its value? Chen Xianming asked with a smile, and he had already regarded Chen Qingyun as the backbone of the family and a core member who could decide the direction of the family. Whenever there was a decision on the development of the family, he would ask Chen Qingyun's thoughts. Why not rent the Yuanzhu Island spiritual vein to casual cultivators? Chen Qingyun thought about it for a while and gave the answer. Oh, lease it to independent cultivators. Please tell me in detail. Yuanzhu Island is too far from our Chen family, and it is inconvenient to travel. It is not suitable to be used as a base for the family. It is better to choose the nearby Psychedelic Island and Zhenhai Island to honor the family's heritage. The most important thing is, as you said, there are less than 30 cultivators in our family. With this number of people, how can we allocate a few people to live in Yuanzhu Island? Distant water cannot quench nearby thirst. Instead of dispersing the family's strength and giving the enemy a chance to defeat them one by one, it is better to concentrate the strength together and pull it together. But it is indeed a waste to leave Yuanzhu Island empty. Why don't we rent it out first and let independent cultivators live there? Let the spiritual vein add more vitality first. We can follow the example of Yishi Island to manage those scattered cultivators and provide appropriate shelter. When the number of scattered cultivators increases and they have trading needs, we can also establish a small market on the island, and grow step by step in a disciplined manner. As the largest scattered cultivator alliance in the Star Sea, Yishi Island has been able to develop to such a prosperous situation today. First of all, it is inseparable from the huge attraction of Hanleozu. In addition, a series of policies for the benefit of scattered cultivators have been introduced. For example, leasing spiritual vein caves, providing shelter for scattered cultivators, and establishing a market economy to meet resource transactions. This solves the most basic practice and life problems of scattered cultivators. Resource acquisition depends on their own efforts. For these benefits, many scattered cultivators will choose to join Yishi Island first. At least living there, as long as they do not step out of the scope of Yishi Island, they can get the protection of Hanleozu and have a solid security guarantee. Chen Xianming knew the reason for the development of Yishi Island. When he heard Chen Qingyun's idea, he quickly nodded and agreed, and continued to discuss with Chen Qingyun. There is a spiritual armor greenwood formation on Yuanzhu Island. This formation was only broken at that time, but not destroyed. The eye of the formation still exists and has not been removed. So at this time, there is no need to arrange the formation for the time being. just use the ready-made one. With the island protection formation and spiritual veins as the foundation, the next step is to build many caves and open up some fields for casual cultivators to live and plant. With a place to practice and spiritual fields to cultivate, this can attract casual cultivators to move in and benefit the Chen family. In terms of leasing, in the short term, it is actually not possible to make money from this. If casual cultivators are tight in their pockets, they can find another way out if they really have money. Chen Qingyun made suggestions and conceived two ways to lease Yuanzhu Island. The first is to pay a certain amount of spiritual stones for a year. The longer the lease, the cheaper it is. This traditional leasing method still needs to be available. The second type, those who don't have spiritual stones, can earn residency by farming. To put it bluntly, they can work for the Chen family and farm. After they have to pay a certain amount of spiritual rice every year, they can keep the remaining spiritual rice. The cost-effectiveness of this second method is immediately reflected when compared with the first method of leasing with spiritual stones. In the world of immortal cultivation, 50% to 60% of the casual cultivators have farming skills, and the rest who know the hundreds of arts of immortal cultivation can barely support themselves. Without paying spiritual stones, you can stay in Yuanzhu Island to practice by farming for the Chen family. This is very attractive, and you can also be protected by the Chen family to a certain extent. As long as you don't leave the scope of Yuanzhu Island, whether the island is invaded by monsters, attacked by demon cultivators, or raided by bandits, the Chen family will not ignore their own island. With a plan in mind, Chen Xianming will hold a clan meeting in the next 2 days to talk about this matter and get everyone's unanimous agreement. The family began to discuss the specific leasing matters, how many spiritual stones to collect, and how much spiritual rice to pay for farming to be qualified. Also, there has to be someone to manage Yuanzhu Island. If we allow scattered cultivators to gather, it will easily cause chaos. We need a foundation-building cultivator to take charge. I have discussed this matter with Qingyun in detail before. Some of his opinions are very accurate and his ideas are very good. Why not let him talk about it? Qingyun, you can speak frankly and put forward your ideas on the development of Yuanzhu Island. Looking at the clan members who were talking enthusiastically and coming up with their own strategies, Chen Xianming listened for a while and finally let Chen Qingyun speak, which had begun to subtly raise his status in the family. The eyes of the family leaders fell on Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun thought for a while and said slowly, on Yishi Island, the minimum rent for the cave house in the market is 10 spirit stones a year. The minimum spirit vein standard for the cave house is the 2nd level spirit vein, and the better 3rd level spirit vein. The starting rent is 30 spirit stones a year. Because Han Laozu protects the scattered cultivators in Yishi Island, we have no advantage compared to Yishi Island. Yes, everyone has thought of this before, so what is your solution? Chen Xianming asked with a little expectation, which attracted the other clan members to listen attentively. Chen Qingyun continued, in terms of resources, strength, influence, and fame, we cannot compare with Yishi Island. So we can only attract casual cultivators by renting at low prices. We must at least reduce the rental price of caves in Yishi Island by half, so that we can attract casual cultivators to move in. Only by pursuing cost-effectiveness can we open up the market. Hearing this, Chen Xianming couldn't help but ask, then how many spiritual stones do you think are appropriate? 5 spiritual stones a year. But in order to have more choices and attract those casual cultivators with tight wallets, we can also launch a second policy, which is the planting of spiritual fields mentioned earlier. When Chen Qingyun mentioned the idea of planting spiritual fields, the Chen family cultivators showed greater interest and listened quietly. Many casual cultivators know how to plant spiritual fields. Our UI rice is a first-level spiritual rice. It is not difficult to plant and can mature twice a year. In that case, we will add another way to rent caves. Qingyun, what do you mean? Chen Dalin's eyes moved, and he guessed what Chen Qingyun was going to say next. Chapter 369, transforming the family spiritual ship. Chen Qingyun glanced at Chen Dailin and smiled. What I mean is that any casual cultivator who is short of money and lacks spiritual stones can work for the Chen family and plant spiritual fields in exchange for the right to live there. Well, the price of jade bud rice is about 200 kilograms per spiritual stone. 1 acre of land produces twice a year, which is 2,000 kilograms and 10 spiritual stones. Chen Xianmin calculated carefully. Excluding the cost of seeds and labor, the casual cultivators planting spiritual fields for us, planting 1 acre, is enough to obtain 1 year's residency qualification. Yes, but we provide seeds for the jade rice, spend energy to cultivate it, allocate land for planting, and supply spiritual energy, which is also an expense. Why don't we follow the rule that a casual cultivator plants 2 acres of spiritual fields every year and hand in 3,500 kilograms of spiritual rice in exchange for 1 year's residency rights? The remaining 500 kilograms of spiritual rice, including the climate, environment, natural disasters, human factors that affect the yield, are not included in the scope of handing in. Reserving this part of spiritual rice and not handing it in is, on the one hand, out of humanity and not overexploiting. On the other hand, it can attract casual cultivators who can farm to make a profit here and willingly plant spiritual fields. Don't look at 500 kilograms of spiritual rice as not much. It is equivalent to about 2 spiritual stones. But for casual cultivators, being able to obtain this extra income while obtaining residency qualifications is very attractive. According to this method, once you plant for a few more years, the income will be considerable. There is food, shelter, and spiritual rice can be earned little by little to exchange for spiritual stone resources. After Chen Qingyun proposed this idea, everyone nodded quickly and adopted it immediately. In addition, Chen Qingyun also made 2 other suggestions. First, on the basis of absorbing casual cultivators to live in Yuanzhou Island, the descendants of casual cultivators with spiritual roots can be recruited to join the Chen family and enter the family genealogy. But the premise is that these descendants must change their surnames to Chen, and live in the Chen family since childhood, receive the teachings of the Chen family, and subtly care about the Chen family. As for parents, they can be regarded as non-family members of the family and be protected by the family. Second, 1 or 2 guest elders can be selected from the casual cultivators to serve as leaders to manage the order of Yuanzhou Island. On the family side, it is recommended to send a foundation-building cultivator to sit in Yuanzhou Island as the top manager. The order on the island is the top priority and cannot be relaxed at all. Chen Xianming and others adopted the above 2 suggestions and did as Chen Qingyun said. Finally, the price of renting the cave house was negotiated. After negotiation, Yuanzhou Island rented out the cave house, with the minimum rent being 1 year. 5 spiritual stones for 1 year. 12 spiritual stones for 3 years, and 20 spiritual stones for 5 years. The first choice for recruiting is the casual cultivators around the Xingsha Islands. If you don't pay spiritual stones, you can rent by planting spiritual fields. A casual cultivator who plants at least 2 acres of spiritual fields a year and hands over 3,500 kilograms of jade rice can live for free for 1 year. The same is true for those who want to continue living there in the following years. As long as you are diligent, even if you plant 10 acres of spiritual fields a year, the Chen family will not stop you, as long as you can hand over the amount of spiritual rice. The extra spiritual rice is to enrich the pockets of the casual cultivators. The meeting lasted a day and ended in the evening. Everyone solved all the problems they could think of one by one. After the meeting, Chen Xianmin started to do it. As soon as Chen Qingyun walked out of the family hall, Chen Daoran, who was waiting outside, saw Chen Qingyun coming out and immediately greeted him. Qingyun, I want to ask you something about the construction of spirit ships. Do you have time now? Second, Grandpa, just ask me if you have any questions. Ha ha ha, okay, then come with me to the dock. The 2 of them walked together and soon arrived at the dock of Linjian Island. Chen Qingyun saw 3 large ships docked here, one of which was the old friend Qingguang. The other two ships were very new and their shapes were completely different from Qingguang, judging from the appearance and construction progress. They have not been completely completed. Obviously, these are the two spirit ships that Chen Daoren built for the family. Second, Grandpa, do you want to ask about the construction of spirit ships? Seeing these two spirit ships that have not yet been built, Chen Qingyun guessed Chen Daoren's intention this time, thinking that he wanted to transform these two spirit ships. The previous patrol ship, Panlong, had what kind of power, which was demonstrated in front of the clan members. You are right. Chen Daoren smiled faintly, and did not keep the secret, and took the initiative to talk about the problems he encountered recently. Ever since he saw the sky patrol ship, Panlong, driven by Chen Qingyun, participating in the battle on Hantan Island, he had a fresh memory of the three extremely powerful warships and was very yearning for them. So he came up with an idea. Could he copy the sky patrol ship and build two ships to escort the tribe's future travels and greatly improve their combat effectiveness? Now, the construction progress of these two spirit ships has reached 90%, and the remaining construction finishing work can be completed successfully with Chen Daoren's ability. The reason for the pause is to ask Chen Qingyun for advice. He also wants to equip these two spirit ships with the demon slaying cannon and the heavenly secret mirror. But the difference is that after these two weapons are equipped, their power will definitely not be as good as Chen Qingyun's three ships. That is the level of magic weapons. The current grade of these two spirit ships is the second grade upper grade. In the past year or so, Chen Daoren's weapon refining skills have improved and have reached the second grade upper grade. After learning about Chen Daoren's idea, Chen Qingyun nodded immediately. Second, Grandfather, I understand what you mean. Let me complete the finishing transformation of these two spirit ships. Okay, with you here, it will be safer. After taking over the transformation of the spirit ship, Chen Qingyun temporarily lived in Linjian Island. He still lacked some refining materials. So, he spent half a month to go to Qingguang, collected some materials for making the demon slaying cannon and the heavenly secret mirror, and purchased a large number of damaged magic weapons to accumulate the strengthening points. Then, he started to work formally and spent 3 days to transform the two spirit ships. Both spirit ships are equipped with a demon-slaying cannon and a heavenly secret mirror. The difference is that in order to increase practicality, only the demon-slaying cannon of these two weapons has been strengthened to the level of the best magic weapon. This demon-slaying cannon itself has two ways of controlling. One is to control it with pure mana, that is, to be controlled by the Purple Mansion cultivator. Another way is to replenish spirit stones as energy, which does not necessarily require a Purple Mansion cultivator to do it. As for the heavenly secret mirror, in the family, apart from Chen Qingyun, only Chen Xianmin is a Purple Mansion late-stage cultivator. It is impossible for Chen Xianmin to lead the team every time when sailing out to sea. So for practicality, the heavenly secret mirror was only enhanced to the second grade extreme. After Chen Qingyun's transformation, the two spirit ships have the ability to detect the dynamics of the surrounding 30,000 meters and fight against Purple Mansion creatures. Chen Qingyun also enhanced the grade of the spirit ship, reaching the second grade extreme, giving it the ability to fly. In this way, the two spirit ships have become a major travel tool for the family and belong to the family's warships. After the transformation was completed, Chen Qingyun called Chen Daoren to deliver the transformation results. Chapter 370 Cultivating the Third Purple Mansion. After getting the two spirit ships and seeing the results of the transformation, Chen Daoren was quite satisfied and couldn't help but sigh that Chen Qingyun's weapon refining skills were becoming more and more extraordinary. Not only are the weapons and equipment equipped, but the spirit ship has also been upgraded to a higher level and has the ability to fly. It's really rare. The two demon-killing cannons have reached the level of top-grade magic weapons. Qingyun, your methods are really miraculous. One thing you can rest assured is that we know everything about the upgrade of these magical artifacts and will never reveal anything to the outside world. If anyone asks about the origin of this demon-killing cannon and why it is so powerful, We have already discussed the excuse. We will unanimously say that it was refined by a high-level weapon refiner, or we will keep silent. Chen Daoren looked extremely serious and paid great attention to this matter. He did not ask how Chen Qingyun, who was a third-level mid-level achiever, created the best magic weapon, the demon-slaying cannon. Chen Qingyun smiled and nodded, without saying much, to delve deeper into the topic. Finally, Chen Daoren took the initiative to mention the renovation costs. After all, these require materials and manpower and material resources, so it is impossible for Chen Qingyun to work in vain. In fact, Chen Qingyun spent a lot of strengthening points to transform the spirit ship this time, reaching more than 20,000 points. Converted into spiritual stones, these amount to nearly 300,000 spiritual stones. This is also the purchase of a large number of broken magic weapons for decomposition, which greatly reduces the cost of spiritual stones. If the intact magic weapon were to be disassembled, the cost would be several times higher. Considering that what Chen Qingyun paid was definitely not as simple as a little material fee. The two demon-slaying cannons alone cost nearly 500,000 spirit stones. Two heavenly mirrors are equivalent to 32,000 spiritual stones. This transformation took more than half a month. Even if Chen Qingyun gets a monthly share of 12,000 yuan from the property, the family certainly cannot let Chen Qingyun bear this expense. Brothers are clearly settling accounts, let alone younger generations, so naturally they cannot take advantage of them. Chen Daoren told Chen Xianming about this matter. On the same day, Chen Xianming checked the two spiritual ships and was quite satisfied with the results of the transformation. Especially the two demon-killing cannons. Although these things can be equipped on the spirit ship now, they can actually be disassembled and installed in other places. For example, if it is placed in the clan area, the flexibility is very high. Because the expenditure was not small, Chen Xianming and several family elders discussed the matter in detail. Qingyun has done a good job in renovating the spirit ship for his family this time. We can't treat him badly. Not only will I not be treated unfairly, but I still have to pay what I deserve. Add some spiritual stones to Qingyun, don't be so petty. Chen Dalin and others reached a consensus, and finally added thousands of spiritual stones to the 4 magical artifacts. A total of 520,000 spiritual stones were given to Chen Qingyun. Knowing that the family had made a lot of money, and had gained at least another 1,000,000 spiritual stones in more than a year, Chen Qingyun accepted the spiritual stones without any refusal. By the way, these two spiritual ships haven't been named yet. What your second grandfather means is that you have completed all the final modifications, so you can choose the names of these ships. Chen Xianming said. Chen Qingyun shook his head. It's up to the second grandpa to choose the name. It takes at least 8 months to build a second-level spiritual ship. Grandpa Second has put too much effort into these two spiritual ships. I am just finishing the renovations. The credit does not go to me. Ha ha ha, if you think so, fine, then let's follow your opinion. After Chen Xianming told Chen Daoren this idea, the old man smiled happily and said, in that case, let me choose the name. 2 spiritual ships were named by Chen Daoren. One was named Zilong and the other was named Kanglong. The Chen family now owns 3 spiritual ships and has better ocean-going capabilities. Yuanzhu Island. Since more than 20 days ago, the Chen family began to build caves on this island. In just this period of time, 100 caves have been dug out, laying a foundation. The monks all have the ability to use their flying swords to dig out caves. The subsequent expansion of the cave is very simple. It is nothing more than setting up some cave restrictions to ensure confidentiality. The construction of the cave has been completed, the spiritual field has also been initially developed, and a farm foundation has been established. The next step is to spread the news to the outside world and attract casual cultivators to come and stay. On this day, after Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun finished talking about Yuanzhu Island, they mentioned the idea of continuing to purchase demon pills. The main purpose of purchasing the demon pill this time is to allocate some resources to everyone, increase their strength, and try to cultivate another Zaifu monk. In the family, There are 4 people who have reached the late stage of foundation building, namely Dalin, Daoran, Qingfeng, and Qingyun. Among these 4 people, the one with the greatest potential is undoubtedly Qingyan. She is only in her 30s now. In this year, she has improved her weapon refining skills again and has reached the level of a second-level mid-level weapon refiner. She has great potential. I was thinking, if we take the lead in cultivating her, she is still so young. Once she reaches the Xifu stage first, her future achievements will definitely be higher than those of Daoran and the other 3. Speaking of this, Chen Xianming did not forget to praise Chen Daoran and Chen Dalin. As for the other 3, Dalin is a second-level middle-level alchemist, and Daoran is a second-level middle-level weapon refiner. They have considerable potential and huge development prospects, and they are worthy of focusing on training. As for Qingfeng, although he doesn't know all the arts of cultivating immortals, he is younger than Dalin and Daoran, which is also an advantage. Who do you prefer to train first? Chen Xianming asked. It's all right, they are the backbone of the family. Training anyone will benefit the family. Then, let's train Qingyun first. Zhenhai Island also needs a new purple mansion cultivator to protect it. From the potential and the importance of Zhenhai Island to the family, a weapon refining workshop can provide millions of spirit stones every year. There is no hesitation about who to train first. It must start with Chen Qingyun and train her to the Purple Mansion stage first. After the cultivator reaches the foundation building stage, there is no lifespan factor that affects the opening of the Purple Mansion. As long as the resources are in place, they can break through the barrier when their lifespan is about to end. It's not too late to support Chen Dalin, Chen Daoran, and Chen Qingfeng to impact the Purple Mansion stage later. Chen Xianming has not mentioned this idea to other family members at present, but only mentioned it to Chen Qingyun first. Knowing that the family wants to focus on training the 5th sister, Chen Qingyun is very happy and supports this decision. To purchase the resources of the monster beast that impacts the Purple Mansion stage, it takes more than 1,800 first-level monster pills and about 70 spirit stones to calculate from the late stage of foundation building. It is not an easy task to purchase so many demon pills. For example, in a market in the Outer Sea, the number of demon pills that can be purchased is good, and there are still people who doubt why so many demon pills are purchased. Demon pills are used for alchemy and refining, and basically a few are enough. Few people will buy them in large quantities. This time, more family members need to be sent to purchase demon pills in batches, and there is no need to rush to buy them all at once. According to Chen Xianming's idea, of course it is impossible to buy only the demon pill resources needed by Chen Qingyun alone. Just buy as much as you can, and other cultivators in the family can also be allocated a little. According to the purchase plan, it is estimated that it will take about a year. While Chen Xianming was working on this matter, Chen Qingyun assisted the family and began to recruit independent cultivators. He went to the Black Cliff Market, drafted a recruitment notice in Tanhong Pavilion, and put it at the door of Tanhong Pavilion. Chapter 371, Casual Cultivators Move In. In Yishi Island, Chen Qingyun decided not to post a notice to recruit independent cultivators through Qingyun Hall for the time being. The influence of the Chen family is far from Yishi Island, and it is not easy to poach people under the nose of Han Liaozu. The most suitable way is to recruit independent cultivators in Xingsha Islands, that is, to attract people in He Market. It must be said that the current reputation of the Chen family is still not low, and it is very famous in the Xingsha Islands. After the notice was posted in Tanhong Pavilion, it quickly attracted the attention of many independent cultivators in the market. 5 spiritual stones a year. To obtain the right to live in the second-level top-grade spiritual vein for 1 year, is still a bit expensive. It would be better if it could be cheaper. It's a bit expensive, but look at the line below. Planting spiritual fields and meeting the requirements can get 1 year of free residence. Planting 2 acres a year. The requirements are not high. I know how to farm. I am a spiritual plant husband. Don't just stand there and watch. How about going to Yuanzhou Island together? That's what I mean. In Just 2 months, 32 casual cultivators went to Yuanzhou Island and got a cave to live in one by one, and only 3 of them paid spiritual stones to move in. The rest, all of them were qualified to move in for planting spiritual fields. In the next year, they must pay enough spiritual rice, otherwise they can only pack up and leave. It is worth mentioning that the Chen family will provide spiritual rice seeds. In order to manage Yuanzhou Island and establish a good living order, Chen Qingyun, on behalf of the family, selected 2 leaders from these 32 casual cultivators. One is called Wei Minyuan, who is at the 8th level of qi refining and is a native cultivator of Xingsha Islands. Wei Minyuan was originally from a family of immortal cultivators. Later, the family was annexed by other families due to conflicts of interest. Wei Minyuan was unwilling to live under someone else's roof, so he became a casual cultivator. He knows some alchemy techniques and is a first-class alchemist. He is one of the cultivators who paid spirit stones to rent a cave house for 10 years. The other one is a casual cultivator born in Hefang City, named Lu Qingyun. This Lu Qingyun is a gu cultivator who is good at performing gu techniques. She is only at the 7th level of qi refining, but has the ability to rival a cultivator at the 9th level of qi refining. She is very famous in Hefang City. She is not evil because of practicing witchcraft. Instead, she is a warm-hearted old woman who was introduced to Yuanzhou Island by Chen Qingyun. She also paid spirit stones to move in and rented for 5 years. Although these 2 people have some reputation in the Xingsha casual cultivation world, they are not strong enough to serve as guest elders because they are not yet at the 9th level of qi refining. The Chen family gave them the identity of stewards, responsible for maintaining order on the island. Yuanzhou Island imitated the Black Cliff Market. The first rule was that no violence could be used. In addition, there were several other rules, big and small. For example, you cannot bring outsiders to live in at will, and visitors need to register and check their origins. In order to develop Yuanzhou Island into a market prototype and build it early, the Chen family began to send 3,000 mortals to work on it and build a town, and on the other hand, sent Chen Qingyun to guard Yuanzhou Island. For now, Zhenhai Island, Psychedelic Island, and Yuanzhou Island, the 3 spiritual islands, have foundation-building cultivators sitting in. In the long-term development in the future, they will gradually prosper, bring a lot of benefits to the family, and move to a higher level step by step. If a family wants to prosper for a long time, in addition to continuous hard work, it is also necessary for the top leaders to formulate development plans for the family with a long-term vision. The development of Yuanzhou Island is in full swing. On Zhenhai Island, after burying 100,000 spirit stones, a first-grade superior spirit vein was born after 3 years. Chen Xianming also arranged a set of spirit formations customized from the Zhang family to continue to improve the spirit vein level. It is expected that in more than 2 years, the spirit vein of Zhenhai Island will reach the 2nd grade extreme. As for Lingjian Island, which is the clan land, the spirit formation was continuously used to improve the spirit vein of Lingjian Island a year ago. Now, this spirit vein of the Chen family land has been improved again. From the original 3rd grade superior, it has been nurtured to the 3rd grade extreme level. Nowadays, the spiritual vein of the clan land has been improved, and it is completely possible to strengthen the defense and arrange a more powerful formation to protect it. Now Lingjian Island, whether it is the family foundation, or the cultivators, or the mortals, all need powerful forces to protect it. Don't look at the recent 2 or 3 years. The mining of the white stone vein, plus the considerable income from the refining workshop, can already earn millions of spirit stones a year. However, with such a large amount of spiritual stone income, it is easy to attract the covetousness of those outside. Even though the family kept these things extremely secret, the mining of the white stone vein was witnessed by many families and cultivators outside. They could find out from Lingbao Mountain how much white stone the Chen family would trade every year and how much income they could earn. These incomes were just a small profit for Lingbao Mountain, so they would not openly bully the Chen family for a white stone vein, which would damage their own reputation. Lingbao Mountain would not do this, But it does not mean that other high-level casual cultivators and immortal cultivation families have no covetous intentions. If the Chen family had not held a Purple Mansion banquet, it was clear that the family had 2 Purple Mansion cultivators, which aroused people's fear. Otherwise there would have been foreign enemies who would have taken action against the White Stone Vein. The Yang family took out 70% of the income from the White Stone Vein and divided it with the Chen family, and thus also enjoyed the dividends brought by the Chen family. As for the Beishi mine, there are currently 2 foundation building monks stationed there. One is Chen Douhai and the other is Yang Yuanling. Chen Douhai lives directly in Baihai, while Yang Yuanling only helps to guard the mine from time to time because he has to manage the family. As for the Yang family, the Chen family will definitely keep it secret, but after all, the truth cannot be hidden, and they cannot be trusted 100%. Chen Xianming is far-sighted and has considered this point long ago. He knows that the existence of the White Stone Vein will sooner or later attract foreign enemies to spy on him, or even fight him. During this year, Chen Xianming decided to convert the spirit stones he earned into resources. From the initial 200,000 spirit stones to buy demon pills, to the previous 500,000 spirit stones to buy resources, and distribute them to the family cultivators. This is actually to prevent the spirit stones from gathering dust in their hands, and to improve the strength of the family members as much as possible. The family heritage must be enriched. It is understood that the family land is more precious than the White Stone Vein, and it is the foundation of the family inheritance, and there must be no mistakes. Chen Xianming recently decided that he must build a 4th level formation on Linjian Island. The previous 2 upgrades of the spirit veins of Linjian Island were to lay the foundation for building the formation, and it can also accelerate the benefits of cultivation. However, this 4th level formation is not so easy to buy. Even the Zhang family, which is recognized as the first family in Xingsha Islands, has a clan protection formation built on Yanhuang Mountain, which is less than the 4th level. There are almost no finished products of this 4th level formation on the market. The forces that can use this level of formation have a good foundation. Many of them have trained high-level formation masters and can be self-sufficient. There are still some spirit stones left in the family. Where to get the 4th level formation is a headache. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 372 Entrusted by Xingzong. In order to solve the problem of the 4th order formation, Chen Xianming convened a clan meeting to discuss this matter. Our island protection formation is a 2nd order upper grade 4 elephant azure dragon formation. It has been arranged for more than 220 years. It was originally customized by the Grand Master Taixu, who invited a foundation building ancestor of the Zhang family. This formation has gone through 100 years of wind and rain, and has been repaired and maintained during this period. It has accompanied my Chen family for a long time and is older than me. Now, as the family's foundation grows, it is not enough to continue to rely on this formation to protect the clan. This is not a solution. The island protection formation must be upgraded by 1 or 2 grades. This is also what I called you to discuss this time. We must do this as soon as possible and cannot delay. After Chen Xianming finished speaking slowly, everyone was silent for a while, thinking about their own things, and realized that the formation of Linjian Island should indeed be upgraded. It is not necessary to continue to use a set of 2nd order formations to protect the 3rd order spiritual veins. At least a new formation must be added. It is true that there are 2 demon killing cannons on Linjian Island. According to Chen Qingyun, the clan leader, this magic weapon can easily kill a Purple Mansion peak cultivator, which is powerful in itself. However, the power of the demon-killing cannon is at best limited to those below the giant stage. If a giant cultivator attacks Linjian Island, magic weapons and weapons below the 4th stage will be dwarfed by the powerful ones. Knowing the pros and cons, Chen Daoran was the first to speak. Since we want to upgrade the formation, We can keep the 4 symbols Azure Dragon formation and arrange a 4th level formation. A 3rd level spiritual vein can only arrange a 4th level formation. Our family's spiritual vein is currently a 3rd level top grade formation, which can fully meet this requirement. But, this 4th level formation is much more expensive. It cannot be bought in ordinary markets. We must find someone from the 5 major sects to refine it. As soon as Chen Daoran finished speaking, Chen Dalan took over and said, the price of a 4th level formation is not low. Even if there are finished products for sale, at least 100,000 spirit stones are required. Can the family currently take out so many spirit stones at one time? Don't worry about the spirit stones. Chen Xianming said, to be honest, the family currently has more than 1.1 million spirit stones in reserve. The problem we have to solve now is that we have spirit stones, but where should we get the formation? When everyone heard this, they were not too surprised to know that the family had so many spirit stones, so they started to discuss it. Chen Xianming continued. The Zhang family has the highest attainment in formations, and the clan leader Zhang Tanling, and I have some friendship with him. As far as I know, even if his attainment in formations has improved a year ago, he can only refine a 3rd grade upper grade formation at present. If he wants to arrange a 4th grade formation, he can only do nothing. So, it seems that we need to start with the 5 major sects to purchase the formations this time. Chen Xianming expressed his thoughts. This time, if the Zhang family is not capable of refining a 4th grade formation, then we can only ask for help from others. When they heard that they had to find the 5 major sects, many people present were a little embarrassed. The 5 major sects have stood in the Star Sea for many years. How likely is it to ask one of them to come forward and refine a set of 4th grade formations for a Purple Mansion family? Chonglu, who is the weakest in strength, may not necessarily accept this refining commission for these hundreds of thousands of spirit stones. In addition, the arrangement of the 4th grade formation involves measurements in various places on Linjian Island, and the formation must be customized according to the actual situation. For formations below the 4th level formation, cultivators who know some formations and refining techniques can arrange them by themselves according to the arrangement instructions. However, when it comes to the 4th level formation, it is a huge watershed. When arranging, a 4th level formation master is needed. Even if the Chen family buys a finished 4th level formation, they are still not able to arrange the formation by themselves. Therefore, when this matter really comes to fruition, problems will arise one after another. Chen Daoran pondered for a moment after hearing this and thought of a solution. Among the 5 major sects, only Xingzan and Lingbaoshan have some connections with us. It depends on whether King Feng and Qingyun are willing to come forward. King Feng has become a disciple of the Red Spirit Patriarch. I believe that he can find a 4th level formation master to make a formation for us through the Red Spirit Patriarch's connections. What do you think of this? After this was said, many people thought it was feasible. At least from the perspective of master-disciple relationship, it is reasonable for the Red Spirit Patriarch to take care of Chen Qingfeng. Chen Daoran knows a little bit about the art of formations. He thought about the cost of making a 4th level formation and said, it takes a 4th level formation master about a year to make a 4th level formation. According to the calculation of the 4th level low-grade formation, the material cost is also extremely expensive, estimated to be 60,000 to 70,000. In addition, about 20,000 labor costs need to be paid. And we are far away from the 5 major sects. It takes them thousands of miles to be busy on our island for a year. The construction cost has to be added. By then, the total cost of building the formation will definitely exceed 100,000 spirit stones. What you said is on point. This is also what we need to consider. However, as long as there is a formation master willing to take action, it is not a loss to spend more spirit stones. Chen Xianming said with some emotion, considering the long-term development of the family. We have spirit stones and ways now. If we don't start to do it now, will we have to drag it on and leave this problem to future generations? We should first find a way to solve the problems we can solve, so that the descendants can inherit the heritage we left behind, and each generation will be better than the previous one. Only in this way can the family prosper for a long time and last forever. When Chen Qingyun said the last part, the expectation in his tone was particularly strong. Everyone present agreed with his words, and felt that the construction of the fourth level formation should be completed in the next 2 or 3 years. And it really cannot be delayed. As for whether to find Chen Qingyun or Chen Qingfeng, everyone started to discuss. For Chen Qingyun, he can rely on Liu Zilin, or even the connections made by Zhuxiantu, to invite a fourth-level formation master to come out of the mountain in Lingbao Mountain. However, in order to solve the sales problem of the white stone vein a few years ago, Chen Qingyun had already been bothered once, and Zhuxiantu's connections were used. This time, let's not talk about whether it is good to bother Chen Qingyun again, and whether it will be difficult. For Zhuxiantu, if he bothers him to do such a favor again, it is estimated that he will complain, and it will alienate the relationship between him and Chen Qingyun. Chen Xianming, Chen Daoren, and Chen Dalin all thought of this, so they decided to ask Chen Qingfeng. As the ruler of the Xinghai, Xingzong is well known in the Sea area, and there are many hidden talents in the sect, and there is no shortage of fourth-level formation masters. Based on the master-disciple relationship with the Red Spirit Patriarch, it is easier to talk to Chen Qingfeng. So everyone discussed and came up with a result. This time, they contacted Chen Qingfeng and talked about the fourth-level formation to see if there is any hope to get a fourth-level formation master from Xingzong to come out. On the same day, Chen Xianming sent a message to Chen Qingfeng, mentioned this matter, and waited for a reply. Chapter 373 Bei Yinying. After the summons was sent out, after waiting for more than 10 days, Chen Qingfeng received a reply and invited the family to send someone to Xingzong to see if this could be done. Since we have to contact the fourth-level formation master of the Star Sect, the matter is so important that we cannot afford to be careless. We have to send the family's senior officials to come forward to discuss the matter with sufficient sincerity. For this reason, Chen Xianming summoned Chen Qingyun and decided that they would go together and send the 2 top monks from the family there. Chen Qingyun received the message from the old patriarch and made some preparations. The next day, Chen Xianming drove the Qinguang to Zhenhai Island. Immediately afterwards, the 2 set off for Star Sect. After wandering on the sea for more than 10 days, they arrived at the gate of Xingzong Mountain. This time, Chen Xianming did not notify the intellectuals in front of the gate, but took out the messenger talisman to contact Chen Qingfeng. Knowing that someone from the family would come, Chen Qingfeng suspended his practice and affairs at hand. After receiving the summons, he flew to the mountain gate to receive him as soon as possible. After waiting for a long time, when Chen Qingfeng appeared, Chen Xianming greeted with a smile, "Qingfeng, we have taken the liberty to disturb you this time, and we will delay you for a while." Chen Qingfeng was in high spirits. He was very happy that Chen Xianming could come. He touched his head and responded with a smile, "What did the patriarch say?" "I'm very happy that you can come. Last time, the family gave me a lot of good things. I didn't even have time to thank you properly." More than 2 months ago, when Chen Xianming visited Star Sect with a sum of resources and delivered them to Chen Qingfeng, he still remembered the incident. At that time, he saw that the old patriarch was mysterious and said that it was a reward allocated by the family. He suggested that he check it when he returned to the cave and not expose it to outsiders. He originally thought that there would be 1 or 2,000 spiritual stones or other magical weapons. As a result, when I opened it in the cave, I found that it was 10,000 spiritual stones, a second-level top-quality magic weapon, and a second-level top-quality talisman. These 3 things are worth more than 30,000 spiritual stones. The development of the family shocked him. Can everyone get a reward of 30,000 yuan? The Star Sect does not provide such resources to the foundation-building monks. They still need to perform sect tasks and earn good deeds to exchange for resources. Because of this, Chen Qingfeng has been looking at the family with admiration these days, and while he is happy, he also feels a sense of pride. As a disciple of the Qing sect, he was born in a family that cultivates immortals. The stronger the family, the greater its reputation. This will make Chen Qingyun's cultivation in the sect and make connections smoother. In terms of performing sect tasks or gathering resources, they also have more advantages than other sect members who are from small families and can have full assistance from their families. Now, knowing that the family is going to build a 4th level formation, Chen Qingyun doesn't know how many spiritual stones a set of this level of formation requires. With a formation that starts with at least 100,000 spirit stones, the family's background is beyond my imagination. Qingyun, you have also seen that Qin Nian and I came here together this time. We take this matter very seriously. Let's take a step to talk first. Chen Xianming said. It's my great-grandson who has neglected me. Please come with me quickly. Chen Qingyun did not dare to neglect and led Chen Xianming and 2 people into the sect. According to the rules of the Star Sect, monks in the foundation building period can allow relatives and friends to come to visit friends, and lead them into the sect. They only need to register briefly. After registering at Shanmenzik, Chen Qingyun set up a flying boat and invited the 2 of them to board it. He looked at Chen Qingyun aside and couldn't help but sigh. 6th brother has made rapid progress in cultivation in recent years, much better than me as the 2nd brother. It will be at least 20 years before I open the Purple Mansion. 2nd brother, there is no need to be humble. You are now under the sect of the Hongling ancestor. As long as you work hard in the future, I believe you will be able to open up the Z Mansion soon. Chen Qingyun smiled lightly and noticed that Chen Qingyun's cultivation had reached the middle stage of foundation building. To be able to make such rapid progress in just a few years, it seems that the Hongling ancestor has given him a lot of resources. With the Jindan ancestor as his master, the 2nd brother's future prospects are not low. With master's teachings, cultivation depends entirely on personal efforts. You cannot rely on master for everything. 6th brother, having a young leader like you in the family makes me feel more at ease practicing in Xingzong. If you need my 2nd brother's help in the future, just ask, and I will try my best to help you. Okay, thank you 2nd brother for your kindness. The 3 of them chatted politely for a few words. Chen Qingyun has been in the sect for a long time, and he is far less able to chat with Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun as naturally as Chen Qingyun, Chen Daoran and others. They still feel a bit strange and need to be familiar with each other, so they can't open up the conversation box for a while. In order to find a topic and not look too embarrassed, Chen Qingyun introduced the scenery along the way. The Star Sect has been inherited for more than 1,000 years. Danxing Island, where the sect is based, is also the largest spiritual island in the Xinghai. According to the speed of the qi refining monks, it would take at least 3 days to cross the entire Danxing Island. The entire Star Sect's monks are all dependent on the Dragon Head Mountain, a 6th level top-grade spiritual vein on the island. After more than 1,000 years of cultivation, Xingzong created 35 artificial spiritual veins around the 6th level spiritual vein in Longzhu Mountain, ranging from 2nd level to 5th level. Viewed from a high altitude, the 36 spiritual veins, including Longzhu Mountain, look like they form a majestic green dragon entrenching the earth, lifelike, as if they are about to wake up at any time and soar above the 9 heavens. Except for Longzhu Mountain as the core area of Xingzong, the remaining 35 spiritual veins are also divided into areas such as dragon whiskers, dragon scales, dragon claws, and dragon tails. A large number of caves were built on these man-made spiritual veins for monks of the sect to practice and live, and the living areas were divided according to different statuses. The senior members of the Qing sect all live on Longzhu Mountain. The higher you go along the spiritual vein, the higher your status. The head of the Qing sect lives on the top of Longzhu Mountain, overlooking most of Danxing Island. The Qing sect's library, sect hall, general affairs hall, preaching hall, and even the sect protection formation Zhuxiantu Grand Formation are built on Longxi Mountain. When Chen Qingyun first entered the Qing sect, he saw from afar that in the center of the island, a magnificent divine light rose into the sky, emitting a faint silver glow, covering the entire Danxing Island. According to Chen Qingyun's introduction, The magnificent divine light was the formation light of the Zhuxiantu Grand Formation. This formation operates around the clock, protecting the entire Qing sect. At the 6 node positions of the formation, there are 6 giant ancestors stationed all year round. This high-level formation can turn the power of the stars for its own use and can directly kill several Yuanying demons. It is one of the sect's powerful foundations and intimidates the entire starseed. On weekdays, except for the sect's summons or receiving rewards, you can set foot on the Dragonhead and Dragonbeard mountains. The rest of the time, the core, inner and outer gate, including miscellaneous disciples, are all active in the 34 derived spiritual veins. Extending from Longzhu Mountain, the more outward, the spiritual vein grade decreases from 5th, 4th, and 3rd levels. If you want to get a better cave, it is closely related to hard work. The cave where Chen Qingyun lived before was on a 2nd level spiritual vein. When he was still a disciple of Mo Yu Taoist, he lived in a 3rd level spiritual vein cave on Longwei Mountain. Now, he has become a disciple of Hunyuan Patriarch and moved to live in a 4th level spiritual vein near Hunyuan Patriarch. This 4th level spiritual vein is called Zongyang Mountain. It is a branch of the spiritual vein in Longlin Mountain. There is also a small market called Zongyang Fang. Xingzong disciples can trade freely in Zongyang Fang, which is not much different from trading in the immortal cultivation market outside. Other artificial spiritual veins have also established free trading markets. The 3 people took the Flying Star boat and spent more than an hour crossing 3 spiritual veins before arriving at Zongyang Mountain. On the mountainside, they settled in Chen Qingyun's cave. This cave was built on the 4th level spiritual vein, full of spiritual energy, with an area of more than 30,000 square meters. In addition to practicing, Chen Qingyun opened up 2 acres of spiritual fields and 1 acre of medicinal fields here. The 3 sat down, drank a few sips of tea, and took a short rest. Chen Qingyun introduced the candidates for the formation construction this time. I have already talked to Master about the formation. She is willing to help us, so she took time out of her busy schedule to introduce a person to us from among her many connections. When he said this, Chen Qingyun smiled a little. It's a coincidence that this person is not Master's friend, but her disciple, my senior sister Bai Yinying. Chapter 374, Amazing Senior Sister. This is introduced by the Red Spirit Patriarch. Chen Qingyun and the other 2 thought that the Red Spirit Patriarch would select an outstanding formation master from a group of friends or sect elders to help the Chen family make formations. Unexpectedly, the final candidate for the formation master was actually Chen Qingyun's senior sister Bai Yinying. This is to ask the senior sister to make a formation, and to seek help from the master. This detour made Chen Xianmin laugh and cry. It seems that the family still doesn't care enough about Chen Qingyun, and they don't even know that her senior sister is a 4th level formation master. The news is not well informed. Fortunately, it's good to have Bai Yinying to help with this, so that the fat water doesn't flow to outsiders. Let Qingyun's senior sister earn this amount of spiritual stones, maybe it can bring her and Chen Qingyun closer. So this deal will be worth it. A 4th level formation master is a figure that even the Zhang family, a family of formation masters, has to look up to and treat as a guest of honor. As long as they can win him over, the family's formation will not have to worry about the next 10 or 20 years. This Hongling ancestor is extraordinary. He has a powerful cultivation base and even has a 4th level formation master disciple. A good teacher produces a good disciple. In the future, Chen Qingyun will be able to rise step by step under her guidance and become the strongest in the area. Your senior sister is a 4th level formation master. As a junior brother, you only know it now. Thinking of this, Chen Xianmin admired Bai Yinying a little bit, and at the same time, he was very curious about how Chen Qingyun had been in the sect all these years, and couldn't help asking. A 4th level formation master is enough to be called the top formation master in Xingzong. It belongs to the foundation of the sect and the backbone. It must be very famous. Chen Qingyun has lived in Xingzong for so many years. If he had turned a deaf ear to the outside world and only focused on cultivation before, it would be understandable. But this is sent to the Red Spirit Patriarch's sect, and he doesn't even know this basic information about his own senior sister, her strength, and what kind of immortal arts she can cultivate. It's really a bit unreasonable. Guessing that Chen Xianming would ask this, Chen Qingyun shrugged his shoulders, showing a helpless expression, and forced a smile and said, I know about this, but I'm not sure to invite my senior sister to come out. My senior sister and I are not familiar with each other, and we have only met a few times. With her cold and icy temperament, even if I go out to invite her, she may not agree, so after thinking about it, it's safest to ask Master to do this. Fortunately, although my senior sister's temperament is a little cold, she is impeccable in terms of character and formation attainments. I can rest assured that she will build the formation for the family. Hearing Chen Qingyun's words, Chen Xianming nodded slowly, and a touch of joy appeared on his face. Your master chose her, and she is also your senior sister from the same school, which means she is trustworthy. What about the price? Have you made it clear? Although the price has not been discussed yet, I see from the master's response that the senior sister will charge according to the market price and will not ask for a high price from us. Chen Xianming nodded and said, the lowest price is the market price. Naturally, we cannot treat her unfairly. Even if we spend more spirit stones, it is worth it. Yes. Chen Qingyun said, if there is no problem, we can go to see the senior sister in the next few days. She has come out of retreat during this period. If she delays for a few more days, it will be difficult to see her next time when she is free. According to his own understanding, Chen Qingyun carefully explained the specific situation of Bai Yinying. Finally, Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun decided to meet this amazing woman. There are currently only two disciples under the Red Spirit Patriarch, one is Bai Yinying, and the other is Chen Qingyun. As a junior brother, Chen Qingyun had met Bai Yinying on the day he became a disciple of the Red Spirit Patriarch. During this period, he had met her twice because of the Red Spirit Patriarch's summons. The fact is indeed as he said, his current relationship with his senior sister is actually far worse than that of several fellow friends in the sect. My senior sister has a cold temper. I haven't said a few words to her. I will tell her now. It may take some time to receive her reply. Chen Qingyun took out the communication talisman, and after a rather nervous voice transmission to Bai Yinying, he waited for half an incense stick of time before he got an accurate reply. Bai Yinying's reply was only 5 words, bring them here. Under the leadership of Chen Qingyun, the two went to the southern part of Zongyang Mountain and entered a cave full of birdsong and flowers, full of the atmosphere of Taoyuan, and met Bai Yinying. Master told me about the formation, and I can take it. Bai Yinying's temperament was even colder than Chen Qingyun. She didn't say hello. She glanced at Chen Qingyun and the other two and got straight to the point without saying much. This girl has dual spiritual roots and was born in a small fishing village in the outer sea. Her ancestors were all fishermen. More than 50 years ago, the town where they lived was hit by a demonic plague, and almost all the people in the town were sacrificed by the demonic cultivators. Only she escaped the disaster by hiding in a water tank under the cover of her brother and became the only survivor. Afterwards, the Xingzong came forward to eliminate the demonic cultivators. The Red Spirit Patriarch discovered Bai Yinying's existence and saw that she had dual spiritual roots with the spiritual pupil magic. He brought her back to the sect and accepted her as a personal disciple. After experiencing the tragedy of her family being broken up and her hometown being slaughtered by demonic cultivators, Bai Yinying has a lonely and cold personality. She likes to be alone and doesn't like to deal with people. It is precisely because of this that she spent all her time on cultivation and formations, and was extremely hard-working, which is why she can achieve today's achievements, and her cultivation has reached the late stage of the Purple Mansion. Before coming, Chen Qingyun briefly told Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun about Bai Yinying's life experience. Seeing that this woman didn't talk much and looked cold, he didn't think there was anything wrong. According to Bai Yinying's attainment in formation, 4th level middle grade, Chen Xianming decided to go straight to the point and invite her to build a 4th level middle grade formation. Fellow Taoist Bai, we want to make a 4th level middle grade formation. Please tell us what you think about the price. This time, We need to go to my Chen family to arrange the formation. At that time, I will have to trouble fellow Taoist Bei to stay in my Chen family for a while." Chen Xianming smiled and saw that things were going well, so he started to negotiate the price directly. "You know the market price of the formation. You pay for the materials. The construction time is expected to be up to 1 year, and the reward is 40,000 spirit stones." Bei Yinying's words were concise and clear, and her face was still as calm as water. After speaking, she waited for the response of Chen Xianming and the others. When preparing to hire someone to make a formation, Chen Xianming had learned about the market of formations in detail. Generally speaking, when inviting a formation master to make a formation, in addition to paying for the materials, the reward paid is 20% of the price of a finished formation. The total price of a 4th-level medium-grade formation is at least 200,000 spirit stones, according to the 20% reward, that is 40,000 spirit stones. It depends on the specific formation to be made. The prices of formations of the same grade will be different due to different types such as attack, defense, and auxiliary. So 40,000 spirit stones is the most basic reward, which will fluctuate according to the type of formation. My Chen family is very sincere about the price. We want to build a 4th-level medium-grade formation that is both offensive and defensive. I wonder if Brother Bei has any recommendations? Chapter 375, Intermediate Spiritual Stone. When it comes to the 4th-level formation, the Chen family had no access to it before. When Chen Xianming saw the 6th-level formation of the Qing sect today, he envied it in his heart and hoped that in the future, the Chen family would also have such a top formation. Now, it is not advisable to be too ambitious for the time being. First, do what you can and build a 4th-level formation. Bei Yinying did not hesitate at all and simply mentioned several formations that she was capable of setting up. After some screening, Chen Xianming finally locked on a set of 9 cauldrons Qian Kun formation. This formation is a 4th-level medium-grade formation, with 9 treasure tripods as the center of the formation. If the 9 tripods are combined into one, the power can reach the 4th-level medium-grade level, with both offensive and defensive effects, and the defensive power is greater than the offensive power. This formation is flexible. 9 treasure tripods can also form a set of 3rd-level formations with 3 treasure tripods, that is, 3 3rd-level formations, defeating the enemy layer by layer. Because of the good effect and high flexibility of the formation, the price is also more expensive, with a total price of 250,000 spirit stones, of which the construction fee is 50,000 spirit stones. This price is about 50,000 spirit stones more expensive than the formation of the same level. When she learned that the Chen family wanted to build the 9 cauldrons universe formation, Bei Yinying immediately nodded and agreed, and said that she would take care of her junior brother for Chen Qingyun's sake. Then there is no need to charge for the other expenses of going out of the mountain, only the reward for building the formation. This seems to be not much money. If she is asked to go out of the mountain and live outside the star sect for a year, the maximum cost is 10,000 spirit stones. But it can't be calculated like this. Staying in the star sect with abundant resources, with a master to guide her from time to time, and high-level spiritual veins for cultivation, this is much better than staying in Linjian Island. A purple mansion cultivator, especially a 4th-level formation master, may not be short of these tens of thousands of spirit stones. Many formation masters of the same level as Bei Yinying rarely accept invitations from cultivators outside the sect to make formations. Even if the sect invites them, they can refuse. Not to mention Bei Yinying coming out of the mountain and spending a year to help build the formation. So Bei Yinying's coming out of the mountain this time really took care of Chen Qingyun. After negotiating the formation and the price, Bei Yinying issued an order to expel him, saying that she still had things to do and didn't have much time to delay. After finishing the affairs at hand, she will go to Linjian Island in 2 months at the latest. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun and the other 2 said politely and left the cave. On the way, seeing Bei Yinying's cold temperament, Chen Xianming smiled and joked. "Qingguang, it's not easy to get along well with your senior sister. When you have nothing to do, you should walk around more, It would be even better if you can learn a few moves of the formation. You have a good chance. You are the youngest disciple of the Red Spirit Patriarch, and you have such an amazing senior sister above you. In the future, whether it is Bei Yining or the Red Spirit Patriarch, they will definitely take care of you out of affection. Don't let your senior sister prefer to help outsiders instead of you because you don't get along well with her. Remember what I said today. We all hope that you will live well in Xingzong. As the clan leader, Chen Xianming's nagging habit has never changed. Chen Qingyun listened carefully and nodded heavily after the old clan leader finished speaking. I understand, clan leader. I will keep your words in mind today. I will visit my senior sister more often. In the next 1 or 2 months, when my senior sister is free, I will personally take her to our Chen family. Ha ha ha, it's good that you can understand it at once. After completing this mission, Chen Qingyun and the others did not stay long. That day, the two of them left Xingzong under the escort of Chen Qingyun, and then took the Panlong and returned to Lingjian Island. This trip took about a month. And there was another important thing to do next. At the suggestion of Chen Xianming, Chen Qingyun temporarily dismantled the 2 demon-killing cannons on Lingjian Island and put them in the clan library. Chen Xianming knew that this demon-killing cannon was not simple, and it was more powerful than the demon-hunting cannon of Xingzong. He didn't know how Chen Qingyun made it. This kind of treasure, it's enough for the monks of the family to know, and they can keep it secret. It's better to hide Bei Yining if possible, and don't let Xingzong pay attention to the demon-killing cannon, so as not to cause unnecessary trouble. In the blink of an eye, more than a month has passed. On this day, 2 figures broke through the waves in the sea and appeared outside Lingjian Island. It was Chen Qingyun, and Bei Yining was here. Bei Yining finished her work and fulfilled her promise to come to the Chen family to build a formation, which is expected to take about a year. For the next year, I will have to trouble you, Brother Bei. Chen Xianming smiled and arranged for Bei Yining to stay on Lingjian Island. Recently, Chen Xianming was very careful and specially built a cave with the same layout for Bei Yining according to the appearance of the cave he saw in Xingzong, so that she could adapt quickly and live as comfortably as possible. In the next few days, Bei Yining carefully explored the terrain, environment, size, etc. of Lingjian Island, and began to discuss with Chen Xianming to purchase various formation materials. A 4th level formation requires a lot of materials. A total of 167 kinds of materials, of which the most used are medium-grade spirit stones, which require 99 pieces. Spiritual stones are divided into 4 levels: low grade, medium grade, high grade and top grade. The higher the grade, the richer and purer the spiritual energy contained, and the more beneficial it is for cultivation. The exchange ratio between these 4 types of spiritual stones is 1 to 100. For example, 100 low-grade spiritual stones can be exchanged for 1 medium-grade spiritual stone. According to this ratio, theoretically, 10,000 low-grade spirit stones, or 100 medium-grade spirit stones, can be exchanged for 1 high-grade spirit stone. But in the Xinghai cultivation world, almost no one would exchange high-grade spirit stones for 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. This is because high-grade spirit stones are extremely precious. They can not only serve as the core energy of high-level formations, but also participate in the refining of high-level spiritual pills and life magic weapons. Using it to practice, only 1 piece is needed to help the Purple Mansion cultivators condense the golden pill, provide rich spiritual energy nourishment, and increase the chance of breakthrough. There are more than 20 spirit stone mines discovered in the Xinghai, which are basically controlled by the 5 major sects. However, the output of high-grade spirit stones in these spirit stone mines is very few. Every time one is discovered, it can be favored by the top leaders of each sect. As strong as the Xingzong, the high-grade spirit stones in its hands are less than 100 pieces, and each piece is like a treasure and will not be circulated to the outside. The other 4 major sects have even fewer, all of which are used for their own construction and training of strong people. According to the current rules of the Xinghai immortal cultivation world, Anyone who has a top-grade spirit stone can find the 4 major sects or exchange it for a purple mansion crystalline Xingzong. The value of this top-grade spirit stone is no longer measured by the number of spirit stones, but as a high-level resource. It is circulated among the Purple Mansion Peak cultivators and even the Golden Elixir cultivators. How can it be exchanged for medium-grade or low-grade spirit stones? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.